Wakanda forever.
Darius!
Oh,
I don't know what's funnier, the fact that RJ's tapping and then Darius comes in at that precise moment.
I summoned.
He summoned
my
Darius.
brother.
What's up, guys?
Welcome everybody to a brand new stream. Give a massive shout out to the one, the only GOAT, GOAT. What's up, RJ? How you doing?
What's going on? What's going on,
What's
people?
going on, bro? Shout out to the man, the myth, the Canaan, one half of the dynamic duo. How are you, bro?
Good.
And the other half of the dynamic duo, MMA King Kreese Jr. That name is still long as hell. What are you eating, sir?
Potatoes.
Potatoes and shit.
Brilliant stuff. And of course, the man, the myth, the Mamba has returned this time.
baby.
He has
The
a
number one Duke fan.
last time when the Mamba joined the stream. It was after
Don't put that on me.
watching atrocities put to screen, and this time he's seen something that is one of the greatest things put to screen.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Dune 2. Dune 2. Go see it.
What'd you think?
Absolutely.
What'd you think?
I thought it was great. Phenomenal.
Get around to watching it at some stage or another. Whee! Okay, Danny, put that on the list for next week. Next week. Danny, speaking of this,
motherfuckers.
fuck yeah. Swearing already. Danny, read out the list that you have constructed and compiled for this stream, sir. I didn't organize the seating like this, but before we go any further, just for banter, Adam, what's the seating arrangement? Oreo. Now, list. Let's go.
Okay. First thing, Turner Classic Movies. My man Darius wanted to talk about this movie, 1960s classic, Psycho. Psycho, yes, 1960. Not American Psycho, but Psycho, regular one. As far as our TV show that we're gonna be talking about, me and RJ watched Sons of Anarchy.
I started watching that as well, by the way.
Good boy.
Turkey's
Actually
long
pretty
enough,
good.
man. God damn.
All right,
Yeah.
we all have one.
I was watching that
fun.
stuff at 16, my guys. Come on.
Hey, there's when you watch so many shows, you bound to miss one.
I'm a
Okay, all right.
nerd. Could you imagine if we just
Okay.
watched Guy all the time? Fucking
Yeah, I still need to watch
Oh
that.
God,
man.
imagine doing that all the time. Fuck no.
Yeesh. May as well call me Cobra.
As far as our DC category, Superman Legacy has been started filming. We also got a little bit of a glimpse of the symbol of hope, so it looks pretty neat. Of course, Mark Hamill has signed up for that DC Crisis on Infinite Earth. So him and Kevin Conroy are going to do one more project together. And then the fun stuff gets really fun with the Marvel stuff. God save us all. So it's going to be the Marvel Civil War comic book debate between RJ, Darius, and
I just want to express my view, and that's it. It's just my opinion.
and Jacob, I guess, whatever. And then
I just want to say, just before you carry on, it's just an expressing of opinion. No one needs to get their knickers.
Expression of opinion.
What's
What
that?
about Nickelodeon? Spider-Man 4.
You will get me cancelled out here. You are the reason that I will be cancelled.
We have the list, Danny.
It's like, as far as Spider-Man 4, our man Miles Morales, aka the Peter Darker. Just kidding. It's gonna be. Yes, it is. Because I gotta have fun.
Are his own.
Next time, don't have him.
And then finally, you know, we're gonna have like our great debate: Fox Kids, Kids WB, ABC 13 Kids, and Q&A at the end. So, whoever wants to talk about Psycho, we can start with that. Go in.
First things first, I want to give a massive shout out to everyone in the chat. So, hi Natalie, hi Lisa, hi Phantom X, hi Ben, hi Cobra.
Phantom X, that's my boy. What's going on, sir?
Wait, who? Wait, say it again.
Phantom X. That's my boy, Phantom X.
There you go. That's your moment,
Who's
sir.
Phantom X?
Yeah, he's one of the guys that I met in a different chat.
He's been networking.
Shout out to you, man. L to you, bro.
Chosen one. Make sure everybody you smash the like button and join us on this crazy journey that we're on this year. Now, I'll start with Psycho. I don't feel any urgency to like dive straight into the Psycho movie, but I was looking into some facts earlier on that I thought would be quite interesting to share from the making of this movie and everything. You know the shower scene in Psycho, like the infamous shower scene with the it actually it only lasts 45 seconds in the final cut of the movie, but it reportedly took 7 days of shooting before Alfred Hitchcock was happy with it. Like, talk about a perfectionist, like, master. Like, it's not good enough until it's good enough. And, you know, I know we're in an interesting time with movies right now, but I think personally, we can always use this as a good reference point for how we go about passion in movies today, where it's just like, we'll just put anything out there. It doesn't matter if it's good or not. Whereas this is a 45-second scene, and he's taken a whole week on this one scene, and arguably it's the most most iconic scene of the movie. I remember back when I was in college and we were given an assignment, we had to make this like poster for a movie, and I got the choice of the Maltese Falcon or Psycho, and I ended up doing one for both just because, you know, that good. But I did enjoy watching this movie when I first watched it, and Alfred Hitchcock is one of the greatest directors to have ever lived. And I was just looking through these facts, and I thought that would be quite interesting to share, because that's pretty much the main thing that I remember from the movie. I don't remember a whole lot other than that. It's been a hot minute since I've seen it. And I was just about to pass it over to Darius, who's now disappeared. But with that being said, I'll pass it along to you, RJ, sir. Do you have anything to say regarding Psycho?
Oh, for sure. It's a classic. It's one of those films that's stood the test of time. Like, it's, to me, it's, I don't mean to like rag on, like, when I say like old movies, I'm talking like, you know, the time period that this movie came in. There's some, let's be honest, there's some movies that don't stand the test of time. And to me, Psycho does. And it was ahead of its time, for one. And that's a testament to how good how Alfred Hitchcock is, and just the story and like the twists and turns of it. What year did this movie come out? Like
1960.
Yeah, 1960.
1960. And you know, I feel like this is when like horror really started to kick off. Like,
it was also very cheaply made as well. It wasn't expected to be as successful as it was.
Yeah. Like it's a fairly like, it's an hour and 49-minute movie, and you know, I rewatched it a few months ago on Netflix, and I was still like, you know, it was like a while before I like rewatched it, and I still ended up liking it. And credit to, I feel like Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates doesn't get enough credit for his role, because
he was great.
One of the most iconic shots in cinema. And you know, when the final shot of him, you know, he smiles and like the camera kind of like closes in on him. It's one of the most like iconic just stuff in cinema. And I believe, I don't know for sure, but I think with the marketing back in the old days when they showed like previews of it, they had a character that was marketed as the main character, and then they got killed off, and like,
yeah,
I'm trying to like remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they've done a Scream before Scream. Nice.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting that you brought that up, and I'm glad that you said that, Adam, because whenever you look at horror movies today, especially things like Scream or other types of slashers, a lot of the themes or the story beats come from this movie or movies like this, especially that image you were talking about with like his like face when the camera lingers on him. How many movies do we see in horror now where there's a camera shot like this?
Like, yeah, and it's so like haunting, like the way Anthony Perkins like just does that role. And credit to
freaking disturbing.
Janet Leigh, Vera Miles, like they were good in the movie. I feel like the performances get underrated in this film.
Yeah.
I feel like we talk about more like, obviously.
Welcome to the Space Phantom X, by the way.
Obviously, we talk about like Alfred Hitchcock's like directing and all that stuff for sure, but like I feel like the performances in this film don't get nearly enough credit. Especially Anthony Perkins. People
dismiss it as old. That's the thing,
and that's the thing like that I dislike about like cinema fans and film Twitter. Darius knows what I'm talking about. we kind of like whenever something comes out or there's an old film Twitter just seems to like say, well, it's because of the time period in it. Well, that's true for some films, but not like a film like
In a
this.
way.
In a way, it's true, but like at the same time, well, yeah, it came out in 1960. Film has advanced in every space, so of course it's not gonna like. In today's standards, it looks better, but
I always hate that argument as well. I think it's so empty
yeah,
as well.
for sure. But
I'm just saying, people say that is ridiculous.
I get annoyed at it because, like, to me, the thing about Psycho is that it's scarier than a lot of horror films today. It's still a 1960s film.
Yeah,
and it's iconic. You can't take anything away from it. Alfred Hitchcock is a genius. Anthony Perkins is a genius. His work should be credited. The whole cast and crew should be credited for this movie. And I believe this movie started. It's connected to Bates Motel. I think it's like it was like a show with Vera Farmiga. It's connected to that.
It is a great show, by the way.
There was also like another 2 of these movies as well that weren't as successful.
Yeah.
But
it's a great film. Like it did a lot for cinema, and it's a lot of the stuff that comes up today is thanks to Psycho.
It's like we said last week, and the week previous for the classic movies, like the staples of cinema. This is one of them. You know, this is one of them. Whenever horror movies are lost, they always go back and look at this film and go, okay, what did this movie did that worked well? And you know, especially when you think of the time that it came out in 1960, this was not normal at all. So imagine seeing this for the first time on screen. Like, that must have been incredible. You know, shocking and scary, but incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
your turn, Mr.
So I find it funny. It's like
RJ's halfway through a point, leaves Scream. This is classic RJ.
Whoever wants to leapfrog off next, continue. Whether that's Adam or Darius.
Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
I'll let Darius go. You know me. White boy goes last. Always.
Only on the Chosen One channel, Kings of Pop Culture, we do diversity correct.
I wanted to talk about this.
And it's the 2 Scottish boys as well.
This movie right here, man, like this started like the slasher genre. It's like I consider it to be the father of like people say Halloween started the slasher genre, which is kind of true, but like
it kind of revamped it.
No, Halloween started like the stereotypes of like
it revamped the slasher. Like this is the Psycho is the father and the mother of slashers. Go ahead,
if Halloween is the father, this is the grandfather. And then you got from this you get Black Christmas, and then you get Halloween.
Oh, Black Christmas! What a great film!
That's good. That's very good.
It's a whole lineage. But
shout out to Dave McRae as well. He did a good sort of fan film on Black Christmas. Check it out.
That's an underrated movie. We should talk about that one another time. But yeah, what can I say about this movie that hasn't been said? Like Hitchcock's a genius. He can make so many different types of movies. I mean, this is like one of his. He makes because I'm in a class right now in college that's just about Hitchcock. There's a whole class just about him. Like he made like 60 movies, dude. It's insane. But this one is like a true to form like horror movie. And you got to remember, like at the time this came out, most films were either westerns, like noir movies, like detective movies, or like monster,
like monster movies. Because it was around before like space. Westerns were like everywhere for like 20-30 years.
Yeah, it was westerns, detectives, and
war movies.
All of them.
Yeah, like monster. Yeah. Like
well, you're saying
Godzilla was around by then.
You're saying, yeah, whoa,
oh,
yeah,
yow.
But like this, like puts yourself in the shoes of like an audience member. Like you see this, and this movie was violent for the 60s. Like back then there was like.
Can you imagine that? It's like, oh, we're going to see Psycho, darling. Oh yes, we're going to have a great old spiffing time. Oh my goodness, she's getting.
They protested that movie so badly back in the day.
There was like a different there's a different way they did things back then. Violence was like, you would cut away most of the time. They
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah.
show
Yeah.
it. It would be implied.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like how they do it in cartoons when the characters get a little frisky. They show shadows instead of them.
yeah,
Actually.
like
Shout out Master of the Phantasm.
Men and women couldn't be shown
Yeah,
sleeping in the
Master
same
of the
bed.
Phantasm.
Men and women couldn't be shown sleeping in the same bed, even if they were married. So they have two beds.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Weird.
Yeah.
But,
That was weird.
but like this movie, like basically said, yo, like forget all that because we're gonna have the villain sneak up on one of the main characters in the shower, which is just like unheard of. And like this, like Norman Bates is like the first of his kind because he's a villain that has no motive. He's just insane.
And that's what's scary and also quite risky. To piggyback on what you're saying, because most characters need an objective and they need a motivation. What happens when the killer has no motivation? They just kill because it's
fun for them.
Like no one knows why.
All he says about his motivation is one line. We all go a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes. Yeah. That's it. That's all he says.
Yeah.
And like that's
what's up.
That's literally
that's what's up.
That's how you get Michael Myers. That's kind of where Michael Myers comes from. Like there is no motive. At least that's what he was supposed to do before, you know.
Well, thanks to fan theories, there is for some reason they tried to give him motive. When
every goddamn single one of you, anytime you try to give these people a backstory, I swear I'm going to find you. I'm sick and tired of all these theories.
It's always the same backstory too. It's always the same
backstory, unoriginal.
Like, there's a cult, guys. Like, why is there a cult? I don't know, but there is.
That reminds me of where Halloween took the franchise.
Yeah, Halloween.
Just like once again, it's like what John Carpenter said with the Halloween series in a nutshell. It's all about a mofo that grabbed the mask and shanked motherfuckers. That was it.
Halloween was never supposed to be a series anyway. It's supposed to be
it was meant to be a one and done, but everybody started crying that they wanted more.
It was meant to be an anthology. That's why Secret of the Witch was a different movie.
Yeah. There was never meant to be a second one, but the second one was still pretty good. They did Season of the Witch, that fucked up and tanked, and then they were like, let's bring him back. And then from there, it was just like, how far can we lower the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think that's just horror movies in general when it came to it. It's like the first few Friday the 13th, like the first few like Nightmare on Elm Streets were good, and then it just was like
yeah,
and it's just like this Psycho
bang.
Like,
get me.
I know we keep talking about Psycho. We don't get any of that stuff because like it just wasn't a thing people did back then. Like usually when murders happen in movies, it was like a detective story. It was like, oh, we got to figure out who the murderer is, or something like. Especially like the way Hitchcock uses the camera. Like we have POV shots from his perspective. That was not like putting the audience in the eyes of the killer was not a thing people did like back then. Hitchcock was ahead of his time with that.
There was a lot of risk.
We saw Halloween kind of basically took the exact same shot in the beginning of Halloween where Michael Myers stabs his sister.
Yep, it's a point of view shot.
Yeah.
UV.
See, this is why I always say that with modern movies, as much as we want creativity and stuff like that, which I agree is out there, there's very few cinema
things you can do.
Bending things you can do because most of them have been done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like story-wise, creatively, you can do whatever. But in terms of like pinnacle of cinema, you can't do this again. Like it's been done. Like you can do it.
Yeah.
That's why I say if a movie's tropey, I don't mind as long as it's executed well.
And it's like if you're gonna take something from someone, as long as you do it well, there's no one better to take from than like your Hitchcocks and your Kubricks,
sure,
and your Tarantinos and your like people like that.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna copy or not copy, if you're gonna take a page out of
inspiration,
book, at least do it for the greats.
Yeah, just it's like that meme of like just copy my homework, but change it up a little bit so it's not the same.
Exactly.
To be fair, like everybody
Psycho is still scary to me. Like I was watching it the other day, and it's still like unsettling. It's still creepy. It's the music. It's the camera angles. It's like the dialogue. It's the performance. Like it's not easy because I watch a lot of horror movies, and not many of them scare me. I can name a list of like
horror movies are more laughable to me now. I mean, I'm gonna be 100.
You've seen like 5 of them. You've seen all of them.
I don't get scared of horror movies anymore.
yeah,
You
great
get
movie.
you get desensitized to it.
It's not like I got desensitized; it just became shit. Simple.
Great movie. I'm gonna let Danny take it from here.
Okay. I guess I'll let the Scotsman. Like the Scotsman says, he's gonna go last. Even though isn't it supposed to be your guys' month now? It's like, oh no, that's our. Never mind. Anyway, like.
Sorry.
Hold
on. Wait a second.
Hey, that still works anyway. Remember, I've got Irish in me.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, I actually don't. As far as I know, so you. Nice joke. Carry on, Danny. The suspense.
So I'm Adam now. Okay, see how this works?
I knew you wanted to be Scottish so bad.
Wait, does that make me Danny now? Sweet.
Whoa, role
Nice.
reversal. You're the black Texan. He's the white Scotsman. That's.
Oh man. Anyway, so basically how I feel about Psycho, I was rewatching it the other day. I mean, it still holds up. It's just not scary or to me or whatever, but it's like, I do like that twist that, you think the main character is going to be here or whatever, but it's not their total story. It's actually a mystery story too at the same time. And I think that was pretty cool on Alfred Hitchcock to do two great things at the same time. So for me, I think it still holds up. I don't really have that much to say about Psycho or whatever. And yeah, the main character likes dressing up in the dress. Other than that, Adam, go ahead.
We're on
that scene is creepy, man. He's playing
Yeah,
like
well, see, this is the thing, right? If anything's to show you that people who do that sort of stuff is psychos is this movie. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, so for me, Psycho's one of those movies. It's like, yeah, it's one of the products of its time. Like everybody says it. I'm not going to sit and drag it out and like, oh, it's a decent enough movie, right? But the one thing that I've always found funny that, I know you boys might know, some people don't know, is that the woman in this movie was actually Jamie Lee Curtis's mother, which is ironic.
Yeah,
two
I
horror
forgot to say
icons
that.
from the two are in the same.
Even Dr. Loomis is named after a character in this movie, which some people think some people think it's the same guy, which is a whole nother thing. But yeah,
that's what I'm saying as well. And also, the set Psycho is one of those old school horrors. I can always watch. For me, I don't go and watch this one a lot more. I am more partial to the Screams or Halloween and things, but Psycho's always going to have a special place in my heart. It's a scary movie, but also it's a guy dressing up as his mother at the end of the day, so it's what it is. But anyway, that's the synopsis.
Well,
10 out of 10 would watch again.
10 out of 10.
Norman Bates is a disturbed individual.
He is.
Yes, he's very much so. Bates Motel, that show was actually decent. I actually gave that a watch for
Good show.
So, Derek, would you say that he's he's basically like the Bill Russell of the horror movies? Like he's the champion for everybody? Like
the first guy. Yeah, watch Bates Motel because it adds a lot of context because his mom was not a good person at all, and it explains how he got to be that way.
So pretty much it's like the Jason stuff too at the same time.
Oh, right.
Weird.
Kind of, but it's actually done well.
It's weird. It's weirder than that.
Good question, Big Blue Beats. On a quick side note, I may be tempted to watch The Rick Show. RJ was twisted.
I have watched the first episode, and the first episode is rather good. I'm not even gonna lie.
I've had RJ and Cody vouch for it, and shout out to Stuart if you're watching. I've had the three of them vouch for it and give it a watch in a sense.
You're not getting me back.
Now, hold on. Before RJ goes any further, we've got 16 people watching right now. Smash that like button. Let's get to 15 likes.
It's not that bad.
Sorry, guys, you're not getting me back to that show.
I'm telling you, this was the first time. It's not
felt like The Walking Dead.
It felt like The Walking Dead again.
It
felt like it. No, hold on.
Let me
You
know
are
when.
giving-
Let me know if it's the same when you get to episode 2, though. That's all I'm saying. Like, if
I
it's
will.
like-
Gonna watch.
How
I'm
about
about
this?
to watch episode 2 in
I
the
will
next 30
finish
minutes.
I will finish it, and then I'll say whether or not it's worth watching. How about that? I will watch the whole thing. Listen,
We'll
it's
walk,
good.
me, RJ, and Cody will watch the whole entire thing, bro.
We'll watch
Like,
the whole
so you
time.
don't
I
have to.
had to do it because
well, you're a better man than I.
You can suffer through that because I'm not getting my hopes up again for another show that starts
no,
a good
it's
few
fair.
episodes in and then goes to
The reason
shit
why
again.
I'm
I
getting my
actually
hopes
echo
up-
the same sentiment as Adam.
the reason why I'm getting my hopes up because there's passion behind it.
When I put the glasses on, that means me and Adam.
Andrew
They
and the
actually-
producers, and they care. Like to me, like
Yeah. They actually, like, for once it kind of felt like, yo, this actually feels like old school Walking Dead. Like, all right, like, let's see where this goes. But
we'll talk about it next week.
what was it?
I'll just
Wait,
find it
wait,
funny,
hang on,
like
did you
if
say
they
next
just
week?
bait you again.
Wait, did you say next week, RJ?
Next week.
Next week. Next week.
Next week.
I just have a funny feeling
Okay.
that they're gonna bait you and like they've got you on a wee fishing rod and all of a sudden this is when Big Bubba
Yeah.
comes out of
I
nowhere.
mean, that's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
get-
let's.
I get that, but it's
That's
like-
fair. That is fair. Like, I'm taking that into consideration. So that's what I was
I'm
saying.
gonna tell you right now, though. With that being said, they're like buffing Rick. I'm sorry, no version of the governor and Negan is fighting this.
They're not winning, bro.
Whip
Rick,
their ass.
Rick
I'll
is.
just say, the plot determines who wins.
Yes.
Anyway, let's get to the good stuff. Like, Sons of Anarchy. We're switching this thing. Sons of
Sons of
Anarchy.
Anarchy, nice.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So I'll just set the foundation of this. 'cause
Riding through this world
I know these gentlemen are itching to talk about
I know
it.
G over
and
here.
All alone.
all
what I'll
alone.
do
No,
is just-
try straight.
Shut up a second. Let me set it up.
He's trying to do the intro.
Jesus. I've watched the first episode, and I've got to say, it's probably the most badass
Yep.
show I've seen in ages. And you know, I'm actually surprised I didn't get on it sooner. The ensemble of
Same.
actors within this show are all people I've seen in other movies and shows, and I'm like, do you know what? They fit in this show.
Yep,
They all fit.
I love
They
it.
Ron
I love
Perlman.
this show.
But with that being said, I'm only on episode 2. I'm only on episode 2 after they blow up the
Don't
car.
get attached to nobody.
But what the hell was that, Danny? I'll let you guys field it from here. RJ, Adam.
We gotta keep it spoiler free though, because this.
Adam,
It's
go
spoiler
first.
free. Don't spoil me nothing.
I know everything that happens
Adam,
in the
you can
show.
go
So like
Adam,
I'm
you go
proper
first.
OG. I know
I
everything.
want to
at
watch
this
the
point.
show. Have not watched it yet, so
Okay, so me and Darius will just sit to the side. You three.
Yes.
Away you
take
go.
it away.
RJ, did you finish it all up?
Not yet, man. Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm on
finished it.
episode. I'm on season 6. I had to take a break because I wasn't.
No. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Like,
I'm not enjoying season 6. I don't really like it.
dude, I'm just gonna tell you, like, the end of season 6, it will. Damn. Okay, go ahead, Adam. Go ahead, Adam. Go ahead.
Well, let's just say, guys, right? Sons of Anarchy is one of those shows that it constantly keeps you second guessing. There's always something new coming up. Without going into spoiler territory, you know, when you get to even the last season, like, your guys' minds are going to be blown. You're going to hate / love it. It's going to be a love-hate thing for you. But for me, I really enjoyed it. And also, there's a lot of stuff in it that makes you just want to binge it. Also, when it comes to Sons of Anarchy, it's one of those shows that, like, legitimately, I used to rock about in Sons of Anarchy, like, stuff. And ironically, one of the funniest stories I've ever had is that an actual biker came up to me because of it and then asked me to come hang out at his clubhouse one day when I was at a shop. And I was like, okay, let's not go down that path. So bye-bye. But it was quite funny. It's quite funny. But yeah, so Sons of Anarchy is a good show. If you want to watch something that's actually got manliness in it, you know, it's actually got some sort of like
it's a man show. Man.
It's a man show, you know. It's not.
It's a man show.
Faint-hearted.
Oh.
It does deal with concept like what's the word for it? I'm looking for it.
Heavy
Complex
subject matter.
topics. That's it. Complex topics. And very
stuff.
heavy hitting topics. It's not one of the shows for the fainted hearted. So, you know, yeah.
Don't watch it
If you're easily offended, this show ain't for you. Like, I'm just gonna say it like that.
don't watch it if you're a you know.
They say all types of stuff in this show, man.
Oh, they did
Yeah.
in the first episode. I was like,
Danny,
he
you wanna
said that
go?
with a hard R.
I'll go next. All I can say is like at the end of each season, it's like, damn, almost every single thing. I mean, every season finale to the end, it's just like you think everything's gonna be like a good, happy ending. It's gonna be great on sunshines and rainbows. No, no, no. It's a good, like, actual real life show, and like that's why for me, and this is just for me and everything. And I know me and RJ went back and forth on this. I like it more than The Sopranos and everything. Like I like it more than Sopranos.
I like Breaking Bad more than Sopranos.
I don't and I like this more, and I like it more than Breaking Bad. So like, because Breaking Bad felt too.
Your opinion. I may agree with you soon, so we'll see.
It's like Breaking Bad felt too slow.
One of those two shows without mentioning Sopranos. Like I feel like it's like I have to say it. Okay, carry on.
It's like Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad just felt like, for me, Breaking Bad felt a little too slow, just for me and everything. Like, you know, but like but I like the ending more than I like the Sopranos ending. So that's why I just say it's like
ending.
It's like number one. That's why Sons of Anarchy. It just had, like, you know, it's biker gangs, it's love, sex, drugs, and rock and roll all put into one.
Yeah, man.
Like it is a man show. Okay, like we need to bring back shows like this. Like bring back shows like this. Like, oh yeah, Shogun. Highly recommend watch that. That's a man show too and everything.
I'm gonna start watching that.
Oh, dude, it is worth the watch. The first 2 episodes are pretty good. Oh, and you're gonna love the English dude in that in that series though too, RJ. You're gonna love the dude. He's pretty funny.
He is pretty
not you. The other one, like
that's so, like, it's cutthroat. Damn,
Not you.
right?
He's like, you're not worthy.
But my favorite characters of this show, Jax, Juice, and
Phil.
You hate her. You really hate this woman, but she's a damn good villain, Gemma, and everything.
I said it before.
No, you forget about all the women that you hated in the past. Like, she makes them look like saints. This woman is evil, bro.
Does she die? Does she die a satisfying death?
The only character, like Cersei's the only one that holds a candle to her. That's
oh my god, Cersei, yeah. Jesus Christ.
What a bitch.
Oh my god.
Dude, I'll put it this way. She makes Kreese from Cobra Kai need to take notes on how to manipulate people, bro.
Wow.
That's how good she is.
You know.
No. Dude. RJ, am I lying about how her manipulation?
He's not.
I don't know, man. I haven't seen it.
She's pretty. She's
good. She's good.
She's Katie Siegel. Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Okay. All right then. Like
I gotta take my grandkids.
That's gonna take my grandkids.
I'm just excited to see it when it.
No, dude, I'm telling you, like she's gonna she's gonna be one of the most hated people in your lineup forever. Anyway, but that's how good she's a character.
Jacob is season 2. That's it.
Yeah, that's about it, or whatever. But overall, Sons of Anarchy, I love it. I love the symbolism of what it does, especially at the end. But other than that, like, it's worth the watch. You know, if you just like a good show about gangs, drugs, violence, sex, it's all there and everything. So, you know,
sex, it's all.
Jesus Christ! What a way up!
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Yep. Yeah. So all put into one, just with motorcycle gangs. Anyway, Mr. RJ, it's your turn.
Symbolism, RJ.
I'm on season 6. I started watching it like about a month ago, so 2 months ago. And I'm really enjoying it. Well, not currently. I don't really like season 6, but to me, it is one of my favorites. I obviously have to get to the ending to see how it ends, because how you end it is
as important as ending it.
Important as ending it. So
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love that.
it's
I'm
like
glad I
in
came up
my
with that.
currently it's in my top 5 favorite shows.
Is it better than The Sopranos?
I can't put it on. We
Is
had
it better than The
Danny had
Sopranos?
a conversation about this. I can't. Okay, as far as the characters, I can put compare they're on the level of The Sopranos and Breaking Bad, but story I can't put it up on those two. That's just me. It's hard to compete with those two shows.
No.
But I love the character of Jax Teller. I mean, Charlie Hunnam. I mean, the way he acts as Jax. I mean, he was. I believe he's from the UK too. Like he just.
Hey, those UK boys, they got it going.
I don't know what juice y'all got going over there, but this man, he walks like a gang member. He daps people up like.
We got brother. We don't got nothing against no brothers.
Oh, dude, Ron Perlman is really good in this.
Yeah.
Describing me.
Ron Perlman, he is funny. He's evil. He's an evil bastard, but he's a damn good character. He's basically muscle crease, like a crease at a biker gang. It's Clay. Like Clay's basically crease, and
he looks like a tool.
Jax is basically, hey man, Clay that dude, man. Clay was that guy.
I was gonna tell you. I was gonna tell you, RJ.
Sorry. I just want to. One episode in, and I think he's a tool already. I don't like him.
I mean, you're not gonna like him, but he's a badass.
Yeah, but he's a good villain. Like most of these guys are.
I don't care if he's bad.
No, RJ.
No.
Can you just say that there's one character that like, you know who I'm talking about? Like,
oh, Chucky?
No, the one that Chucky was staring at. Like,
oh.
We can't let them say anything. We can't say anything.
We can't say anything. But
I'm gonna let it be a surprise.
Okay, but I will say this though: the show is really good at balancing tone, because it can get really funny and it can get really dark at times, and it can get really sad.
Yeah,
and
it
get depressing. But they do introduce like a character that's kind of like he's kind of like the comedic relief of like the biker group. Like he's not in the biker group, but he's in it by default. But you have to watch it to understand. His name is Chucky, and like
Chucky.
Yeah, that's his name, and he's like a short. I'm not gonna say what he does, but he's a funny character. Like he just has like the funny facial expressions. But it's a really good show. I'm on season 6.
Sticking now, sir.
What's sticking now? What the hell are you talking about? Sit back and be quiet. Anyway.
What?
Whoa.
Be quiet. Jesus. What are you talking about?
I said your name's Chucky. Carry on.
Why did you change? Jesus Christ.
We'll call you Chucky now. That's
sticking. To me,
Chucky.
I've told Danny this. I think the best season is season 4. I love season 4. That's
what
Cobra Kai.
No. Sons of Anarchy. Sam Crow. That's the best season 4. That's when everything changes. It's the tone changes.
Yeah.
It's the best season in my opinion. I don't know if you agree, Danny, but that season was really good.
I think it's for me, it's either between season 3 or 4. Like, actually, I think 3 has a better opening or whatever. Like like when they get back or whatever. I'll say it like that, when they get back or whatever.
There you go.
Yeah, we can't spoil it. But
yeah,
you can't spoil it no more.
It's
let's just show,
it's worth it. There are some times where like there are some episodes where they'll just have action just to move the plot, and it is noticeable.
See, I had no problem with that.
I don't have a problem with it either, but it's just like you can just tell like what are we doing here? But it sometimes it does get a little edgy for the sake of being edgy.
Yeah.
But it's a damn good show. I recommend you boys watch it.
Jacob's gonna like it.
Who?
Oi!
Jacob's gonna like it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's edgy for the sake of edgy. Anyway, I guess we'll move on to the next one. The DC
I like
stuff.
how we're just Jacob will like it. Yeah, then we'll move on. Now hold up a minute. Rewind it back a second here. I have this guy telling me to sit back and shut up. I've got you saying Jacob's gonna like it.
Weird.
Oh, you changed it from Judge Mathis to okay, fair enough.
I'm not Judge Mathis.
Carry on.
I ain't got the glasses on.
Carry on. Carry on with the next topic, sir. But I'm enjoying my watch of Sons of Anarchy. I watched episode 2 today, and I'll let you guys know how I'm.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't want to binge through it because the episodes are long as hell. Like, I want to actually enjoy watching it over a period of time. So it may take me a while to catch up to you guys.
Yeah, I got other shows to watch, but I'll add it to
And
my
I've
list.
got other
Perfectly
stuff
fine.
to do. Yeah. So I like to squeeze it in when I can.
No problem. So, the first thing of our DC segment, people, we are going to be talking about Superman Legacy. It's actually starting to get filmed, and it's symbolism of truth, justice, American way, Mr. Superman himself.
Yeah,
And,
America. Whoa, yeah.
America, fuck yeah. Anyway, what do you guys think about what do you guys think about them starting to film and getting this show on the road?
Just jumping straight into it, I think it was I didn't expect them to stay Superman Legacy forever. I kind of had a feeling they would dub it Superman just because there's a reason why they did that. And it's like the same thing I said to you guys the other day. Even though Scream 5 is Scream 5, it's called Scream because it's like a soft reboot, if you will. People know it immediately as what it is. So it's just okay, Superman, we're back, we're beginning again. He's gone off camera. And I think I did see the photo. I need to verify if it's real or not, but I have seen the photo of David Corran Sweat in the suit.
No, that's fake. That's fake. That's AI.
Okay, so that's fake. But even if that's fake, if that's roughly what the suit would look like, that's pretty cool. Jesus Christ. I'm not going to address that. Damn it, RJ.
Wait. Let me see.
Look at the property.
Look at the comment. But I like that. Like you were saying to me the other day, Danny. Oh, fuck's sake. I think the likelihood that they use John Williams' theme is actually quite high, just because they'll want to restart fresh, and this is bringing classic stuff to a modern audience, and they have a whole universe. So I wouldn't be surprised if they use the original theme, but maybe a rendition of it. So maybe where it's not exactly the same, but maybe a remix of it, if you will. Now, don't get me wrong. I've long been since removed from the treatment of a great man, Henry Cavill.
God! What the hell?
Hang on. And I'm not necessarily going to ever forgive that because it was a really huge dick move. I don't
a great man,
and I don't condone the way you treat people.
I want to drink after that, but I'm going to spit the water out.
A great man.
Hold on. So Warner Brothers, just come here. Okay. If you fuck this up, right? If you screw this up again, get the pitchforks and the torches ready, ladies and gentlemen, because honestly,
this is your last chance, Warner Brothers.
This is your last chance. Stop fucking it up. Stop.
This is your last chance. This is your last chance.
I trust for now. I don't like that he plays favorites and he gets to keep all his toys, but all your toys go out the freaking window. I don't like that. Don't like that. I need to let it go. Let it go, Jacob. Let it go. But in just an aspect of this movie, it's a great man.
Let it go.
Never. We all have our shit. I will never let it go. But I do like the cast for this movie. It is.
So is that your Kathleen Kennedy? Yeah.
It is a soft DC Universe movie, if you will. It's got an array of characters. I like the cast lineup. I think Nicholas Hoult will be great as Lex Luthor. I think, this movie, as much as we've said that it needs to slap day one, I think it will have a good mark. Now, whether it's great or good, who knows? But I think minimum, we're going to get good. Minimum.
I think
So that's good. Solid 7. Now, I can work with that. But you need to get an 8 out of 10 the minute you land. I don't want a 7. 8. That's the expectation. I want an 8 or above. After all the BS that we've been taking for 20 years, enough now. And I do not ever want to see anything like The Flash ever put to screen again. I sat my ass through that, right? I sat my white ass
Jacob,
why'd you do that?
Why'd you mention?
You had 3
why'd you
people that
mention
took the bullet for you.
I forgot to tell you guys. No, I got bored. It was for free. I had a couple hours. I thought, why not? And it was worse than I thought. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. The whole
Oh,
movie.
Lord.
Oh, God.
Why'd
I'd
you
rather
mention
watch
that?
Morbius.
Don't tell me that you paid for it.
No, it was free.
Okay. Just want to say.
Like, it's like when you go to the gas station and then they leave it in like the discount section that films no one remembers, and they try and palm it off to you. They're like, "Oh, if you buy this magazine, you can get this for an extra 50 pence. If that touches this magazine, I will kill you." But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Like, I think it's got a good hype surrounding it. I like the image that James Gunn put the other day with like the snow coming up across from the emblem. I think that's really cool. And I think, we're really going back to that classic Superman that we know and love. Now, contrary to popular opinion, with the 3 gentlemen surrounding me in particular, yes, I like my edgy characters. Okay. But I also like Optimus Prime, the original Optimus Prime, not the psycho Michael Bay maniac. Right? I don't like the new one. Yeah, he's badass, but I prefer the optimistic, hopeful, inspiring
Optimus
hero
Prime.
that's a friend. Okay, yeah, you fucking get out. But for once, I actually would like to see a Superman with no edginess, embrace the campy side a little bit, be the friend, be that superhero that we all
He's
know and
supposed
love.
to be campy.
Especially because I did rewatch Superman 1 the other day, Christopher Reeve. And I'm like, do you know what? I really think if you did that with just a mixture of like some of the other Supermans, just a mixture to keep it like, epic. You've got the foundations of a very strong universe. So I'm going into this movie hoping it'll be good. I've seen people kind of give mixed reception, but the video that was put with Nicholas Hoult, David, and the actress, her name escapes me.
Rachel.
Shout out to her. Someone commented in the chat. I don't want to butcher the name. That little video, that was like, okay, there's a good chemistry there. There's a good rapport. I like that.
It looks like they're having fun with it.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think it's going to be really good. And I don't want to let DCEU and that whole era cloud what could potentially be the birth of something new and something really good. And it's just going to be refreshing. And I'm going to let you guys bounce off of me because I've been talking for like 8 minutes now and I need to shut up. But essentially, I just want DC to rise again properly, please.
Could have said something, but I'm not going to do that.
No,
anyway.
No.
Oh God!
Don't.
It's too soon. Too soon.
It's too soon, Danny. It's too soon. Go on, RJ. Carry on. I'll pass it to you.
I did it a few days ago, man. Jesus.
Yeah, the chest emblem was cool. I kind of like how they dropped the legacy title. It's kind of like reminded me of the Social Network scene where he's like, just Facebook. Like, just Superman. So yeah,
Simplicity.
Yeah,
Simplicity.
Oh, Jesus.
Shut up, Jacob. Anyway,
I wasn't meaning you.
Jesus.
Let me sit back and get in my. Carry
But
on.
it was I like that they dropped the like. I'm really interested to see what the score is going to be and who's composing it. Wow, that's vulgar. Anyway, I think David Corn Sweat still like.
I'm sorry, dude. It just sounds like I'm sorry. His name sounds like an adult name. He sounds like he's an adult
right,
actor.
all
bro.
right.
I'm like,
No.
Okay, Danny. All right.
Don't say it, Danny.
it's true. I'm
all right,
saying
all
what
right.
everybody else is thinking.
All right.
Just think it. Don't say it. Just think it.
But
Why?
damn it. Anyway, I think he
I'm getting really
he's gonna
tired of
be
being
great for the
interrupted.
role. I actually really like the cast here. That James Gunn is.
Fun fact: on the last stream, RJ said, "I'm getting really tired of being interrupted."
I really am. Oh my God.
Carry on, RJ.
Damn it, man. I had to turn into my mom on this stream. All right, anyway. What was I saying? See?
Shut up.
Right, that you shut up. The cast. I like the cast that James Gunn has chosen. Still think it's too many characters, but maybe we won't know until we see like a trailer. But I'm really interested to see how Nicholas Hoult is going to be as Lex Luthor, because Lex Luthor is my favorite character in all the Superman comics. I like Lex Luthor.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. Stop, Superman. Sorry. Anyway.
You're saying it to me. It sounds like you're saying it to me. I don't care. Like, all right, fair enough.
Okay. You want to go again or something like?
No, I didn't do it. What are you doing?
Jesus.
Darius.
There's.
I'm not surprised about the title change.
Fuck off.
Legacy always seemed more of like a working title to me. It's kind of weird to call the first movie in their universe Legacy to begin with, because what legacy are you talking about?
Symbolism.
I mean, I get it from a story perspective with like Jor-El and the Kryptonian heritage, but like kind of a weird thing to be called like, the first movie. But I get it.
Like
Superman, like kind of following in the Batman's footsteps. How the Batman is just the Batman because it's a new take on the character. So Superman just being Superman is his awesome take on the character. Makes sense.
James Gunn copy
in terms
Matt
of
Reeves.
the,
I'm joking.
I agree.
In terms of the image, the emblem, I like it. It's like Kingdom Come, like it looks like the Kingdom Come suit, but like the colors of the regular suit, which I think really works. It's unique, sets it apart from the others. And I know I'm gonna get hate for this, but I do not like the Man of Steel suit like that. It looks too
I think it's ass.
It looks desaturated to me. Like, why does it look like?
I agree with you.
Look at Jacob right now.
I
Why
agree
doesn't
with
do
you.
anything? What the hell? Oh,
like 70% of the color.
Well, great for the Civil War segment. We're already coming at me before we even started. But
I said
I didn't
nothing.
even say anything. He did.
Neither did I a few seconds ago. Fucking hell.
You guys got that out of your system? Can I go?
You know what I've noticed? Whenever the three of us start arguing, poor Darius always gets.
Oh no! Every time I talk, I get interrupted. I'm tired of this shit.
We're not good.
Okay,
I'll
like,
get
don't
that.
cut me off, motherfucker. Don't cut me off.
No, I should be saying that. No, go ahead, Darius. My bad.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, I like the suit. I like the color, and I've been very vocal about how I like Man of Steel. It's okay, but I don't like it as much as
Danny. Stop looking at me.
as these three gentlemen do. I appreciate Henry Cavill's take, but that's not my Superman. You know what I mean? He was too depressed. He wasn't happy enough. Like he's supposed to be like you're a guy, like a he's supposed to be a happy, cheery guy, you know?
Danny, stop
like,
looking at me.
Why is Superman moping? Why is he angsty? Like this is not.
You got to deal with a bunch of people's bullshit.
What are we doing here? It didn't work for me. But this kind of like shows me they're going for more of like the traditional Boy Scout take, which I think. I mean, people don't have to like it, but
Boy Scouts apparently.
That's the character. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That's what he's like. Well, at least that's what he was like before. Everyone got their. Everyone's, oh, we got to make him dark and edgy and closer to gray. That's not who he is. But I like the cast a lot. I think Nicholas Hoult is going to knock it out of the park. I think David Corenswet's going to knock it out of the park. I think I can never see her last name. It's Rachel.
Rachel Braun Sweat or something like that.
Bronze. Yeah, something like
Bronze,
that.
something
She's
like
gonna.
The name
I've
Sweat.
seen her in a few things. She's gonna be a great Lois Lane. She's got the spunk and stuff for it. So, yeah.
She got the figure too.
Well, I said spunk. Like Lois Lane has like the attitude. You know what I mean? Like she's got the.
It reminded me of like the song.
Pardon me.
Spunk.
When you said,
Wait.
Yeah.
I've got like 50
think-
things. Carry on.
I think Jimmy Olsen is the best casting. That guy, it looks.
So, are
exactly-
you looking forward to him
exactly
getting
like
killed
Jimmy
off
Olsen.
again, Darius?
Yeah, hopefully he's not a CIA agent that dies this time because
That was fucking
I'm still waiting for
stupid.
Zack Snyder to explain that. Zack.
That was so
Two
stupid.
questions I need Zack Snyder to answer. Why was Jimmy Olsen a CIA agent? And how did Jared Leto's Joker kill Dick Grayson? Explain that to me, please.
We'll never know. Maybe they'll release a book.
Well,
about
he already gave you the answer. He said like I can't tell you.
That's not an
it.
answer.
No, that's not good enough.
That's a J.J. Abrams answer.
That's a JJ Abrams. Like those kind of answers here.
I don't accept those.
I humbly request that you tell me the truth.
What else do I need to talk about? Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see like a modern take, basically a modern, like Jacob said, a modern take on Christopher Reeve's Superman, which I think is
But
what
no,
we
all
need.
I like is edgy. Apparently,
There's still gonna be edgy characters in there. I mean, if they do the whole, the Authority would be edgy enough. If the Authority are in the movie, they're pretty edgy. So people get their edgy fix. It just won't be from Superman, you know. But yeah, I'm excited.
I guess I'm next.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna say this. Y'all a bunch of fools. Now I'm playing. That's what Jacob really wanted to say. Like when he was
why are we speaking for me? I'm perfectly capable of speaking for myself.
You're all a bunch of fools. I
we
will
know.
find him, Jarrell. I will find him.
I will find him. Why is he on the spectrum in that scene?
He's the best part of that movie, though. Michael Shannon.
I will find you are
I
all
will
a bunch
find
of
him.
fools.
Tell me now.
Well, it's like I said, I just hope it's good. You know, I really want this movie to do good. Like, cause James, you've been talking so much noise. Like, you talk like so much, bro. You talk so much shit to people, bro. Like, so you as far like when I saw the symbol of hope in the snow, it kind of had that Zack Snyder tint on there for a little bit, but it's nothing to worry about or anything. Other than that, I think that this movie's gonna do really good. Hopefully it does, even though I still believe it's a Justice League movie. I mean, we got all these characters up in here. Holt as Lex Luthor, I think that's a pretty good casting. Go check out the menu if you want to see how he can pull off the
he's an asshole.
The red
yeah,
picture.
like he gives you the Lex Luthor vibes, and
He's
even in
looking
X-Men, even in X-Men Future Class or whatever.
Look at him. He's here.
This
here.
man,
Screw
this
the
man, screw the Chiefs.
The biggest Chiefs
Screw the
fan.
Chiefs still.
Biggest
No,
Chiefs
no,
fan I
you're going
know.
back down there.
Biggest
There's a
Chiefs
big
fan I
old
know.
piece of shit.
There's a
Big old piece of trash. Big old piece of trash. What I was gonna say. I was also gonna say, yeah, even though I believe that this is gonna be a Justice League movie, I think James Gunn has proven himself that he can do team movies. So like, you know, like look at the Guardians of the Galaxy, look at his iteration on the Suicide Squad or whatever. Like I think if when it comes to team dynamic and James Gunn is ahead of it, like if he's like kind of not over James Gunn's his movies, I think it's gonna be okay. Like I think he can do something with the actual main character, and I think Superman Legacy is in good hands. I think, or whatever. So, TCK, you sir.
What's up, Noah?
What are we talking about?
first things first. How are
Superman
you?
2025.
How are you?
How are you, bro?
I'm good. I just watched Dune 2, which was pretty damn good.
Me
The
too,
best
man.
movie of the year so
Yeah, great
far.
movie.
By far.
Well, not
So, yeah,
not
that
saying much considering what came out this year, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not saying
Yeah.
much. But yeah, what are we talking about?
Superman like
Superman.
Superman
2025.
Legacies just start filming or whatever. So, what is your thoughts on that? Yeah.
Like I
and
said,
like that's
like I said,
emblem and all that stuff.
like I said before, I think we said this when it first came out that the title was Superman Legacy. That they shouldn't name the first movie Superman Legacy. Like if they're gonna name it the movie Superman Legacy, I think it should be like the last film because Legacy
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
it's what's happened, and I've never really understood that.
Someone
And-
makes sense. Yes.
Yeah. So I like that they changed it to just Superman. I think that's the best name. Probably I like it more.
so much.
I like it more than Man of Steel. I just like Superman. Everyone knows Superman. I think it says a lot about what comic they're going for, like what type of Superman they're going for. Because like when I see Man of Steel, all I think about is like the darker Henry Cavill Superman, and then Superman. I feel like the campy animated Superman.
Yeah.
So I like that. And,
Mentioned Jacob once? No. Carry on, Noah.
yeah, and so yeah, I really like the cast actually from that
Awesome.
picture that was released. They look,
Frick.
first of all, they all look really comic accurate.
You asshole.
And so yeah,
They're fighting right now.
I'm pretty excited for this movie. Like I said, if James Gunn can just balance the comedy and the seriousness, I think it'll be a really good Superman movie.
That's the
Because
one
I
thing
know
about
people
this
are. I
comedy.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, James Gunn's comedy doesn't really fit Superman. Like his comedy is very.
Could you imagine him going,
I know
it's a
word
good
for
day
it.
to be a Superman. Let's save this cat.
His comedy is not edgy. It's very, I don't know, mature. Like Superman. Not saying Superman's not mature, but like not in that way.
Imagine
You know what I mean?
Superman has a scene in this where he's at the Daily Planet, right? And and he's talking to all the people and he's giving this big speech, and they're like, "Why? Because I'm doing better." But why? It's up to us to give a shit.
But like James Gunn, he can do family comedy. If you watch like Scooby Doo, those movies,
Yeah.
like, he can do toned down comedy. He can do it. So, I think,
Yeah. I was gonna say this. If you watch Peacemaker, I think he can pull it off because like even though the show is pretty comedic or whatever, it does have those when it's time for a serious moment, it actually ends up being serious. So
Look
you
at
know,
Guardians
Yeah, he
3.
does,
Look at
yeah.
Guardians 3, man. We had us about
Yeah.
to cry over Rocket, bro. Like that was
Yeah.
it got pretty serious with Rocket. Like that, none of that stuff was played for a joke with the stuff with High Evolutionary. So he can like get serious.
yeah,
But he's never really made this type of movie before. So I'm interested to see what he does.
Yeah. I think it's a test for James Gunn as a director too. Because
Yeah,
like taking on like
sure.
a big like
I mean, he's not just doing one project; he's like doing a whole universe. And the thing is, like, don't get me wrong, he's done very well with his movies in the past, but this will be a test of like, okay, you've done well with these individual properties. Can you do a universe?
and also
That's
can
two
you do
very
Superman
different
right?
Can you do something that's a different tone? Like, can you get out of your comfort zone?
He's got a lot of
You know?
characters in this that he's juggling, other than Superman. Each one of those needs to slap,
Yep.
or at least be on
Yeah.
point. Like to where you're actually feeling like you're watching the character.
yeah.
Fuck.
I guess we'll
transition. Fuck.
transition. So, Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy are going to do their final piece in the Crisis of Infinite Earths Part 3.
Fuck.
So, what do you guys think about that? That is basically it's going to be their last thing ever because Mark Hamill said the only way he'll ever come back to voice acting is if Kevin Conroy comes back. So, what do you guys think about that?
Jacob, you wanna go?
Well, I just assumed that someone else would have probably took initiative then, 3 years of doing this. Okay, so essentially just for me, like have said it as we all have said it million times. The two definitive voices of the characters. The two definitive voices of the characters in all of pop culture for sure. Kevin and Mark, and the portrayal of both the characters is widely regarded. Danny, what are you doing down there?
Oh, don't pay attention to me. I'm like, dude,
Sorry,
don't worry about me.
I worry about you though, Danny. I worry. But yeah, I don't have too much to add to this other than anything better than that Suicide Squad crap from that game is a win in my eyes. So, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be watching it with great interest. Does anyone else have anything major to add for this part?
Yeah, I think it's good. The last thing that comes out for Kevin Conroy isn't that.
Yeah, I think
Batman
it's the
dying.
last one.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
Isn't Batman dying from Harley Quinn? So.
Yeah.
So dumb, bro.
And they pissed all over the greatest game trilogy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Like that, it's all that part is all canon.
No, it's not.
Not if we don't think it is.
Not,
In my
yeah,
head
but
canon, it's not.
in my
I've
head
never played
canon.
it. I haven't played it. Therefore, it's not.
Do you know what? For once, I've had enough corporate fuckery. I'm saying head canon overrules what they say is canon.
Yeah,
I didn't play it.
I've been hurt too many times.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, for my opinion on it, I think that's cool that he wants to do one more hoorah with his best friend. It's what's that saying that there's not a punchline or punchline without Batman in it. That's basically how that's gonna be. Like you got Mark Hamill's Joker and Batman, Kevin Conroy's Batman, just doing one more, like
One more little rodeo. Like is Mark
one more little rodeo.
After this? Is he doing any more Joker, or is that it?
Yeah. He says he's done. Like he doesn't want to do voice acting because without Kevin Conroy, he doesn't want to do it or whatever.
Wow.
He said that he only
Don't
wants to do it
blame
with
him.
Kevin Conroy. Yeah.
Jesus. To be fair, that I really appreciate that. That's something that for the art is one thing, but just appreciating that sort of that loyalty and that fidelity to another person to say, look, I just can't do it without them. I respect that a lot. That takes a lot to do, and especially in this day and age where
Especially
money,
with all the money. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, in sync. Money.
Money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Yeah.
Especially with a bunch of like Vince McMahon's buddy running around, throwing money at everything and every every problem.
That dude.
Interesting.
That guy's got a lot of
interesting.
Yikes!
Yikes. Yes.
Taking deuces on people.
But I think it's very powerful, and I think we'll definitely talk about that more when like the hype builds up for that a bit more, because I think losing Kevin Conroy, who is undoubtedly the greatest voice for Batman overall.
The voice of Batman.
I think we're all in agreement. Like everyone has their opinion over which Batman's better, but in terms of just voice,
It's Kevin Conroy.
Yeah,
It's
It's Kevin Conroy, man.
I am vengeance. I am the knight. I'm a
Yes, you are.
Oh, yeah, watch Massive.
yeah.
Man, that's
Read
massive
that
fantastic.
and print it in your head. Anyhow, Dig. Yeah, I do.
Oh no, I was gonna say, Darius, have you went or RJ, one of you guys?
I really don't have much to add on it.
I'll say I don't know. DC's animated stuff, low-key been falling off lately, so I hope this is good.
Yeah. For all that, do you know what? I feel like we spoke that into existence though, because we've been constantly saying about how great it is and how amazing it is and how borderline
We
flawless.
sure
it
have.
is. Except a few
Yeah.
things,
It
like
was.
the Killing Joke and Hush. We don't
Well,
mention
that
that.
Green Lantern movie that
Except
that
those-
Danny showed us.
Except those.
Oh,
I
we
told-
watched
like, I
it.
told them, like,
It was dead. It
I
was
told these two, I'm like, dude, if you guys are gonna watch this movie, like, you guys need to bring a lot of
That had
like
some of
energy
the
drinks
worst-
because this
Some
movie.
of the worst pacing I've ever seen in any movie. Like, dude, that felt 3 hours long.
That
I was like,
pacing-
That Jon Stewart movie was a disappointment. Yeah.
Oh no,
The
I didn't
pacing-
enjoy
That's
that.
one of the worst pacing I've seen in any film.
I turned it off. At
Yeah.
20. No. Just
there was no the pacing was horrible. Like, how
DC,
was the villain?
of Warner Brothers and DC. Don't get it twisted. Just because I want your live action universe to succeed, don't start fucking over the animation.
Well, we know the person in
I
charge
would
of
like-
WB. The
Exactly.
person in charge of WB doesn't care about animation. We know this. So
Sure don't.
sad but true. We know this.
And
Yeah.
clearly James
Love
Gunn
corporate
doesn't
heads. Jesus.
But yeah, I don't want because like I know we said we don't want Kevin Conroy's last role to be in a bad game. I don't want it to be in a bad movie instead. That's not much better. But
true.
No, at least the game you can kind of ignore.
it's
I
a
think the
game.
game
Yeah.
it wasn't just bad; it was just disrespectful too.
And it was Arkham. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
that is connected to Arkham. If it was his own thing, I wouldn't care as much. But it's connected
Yeah.
to Arkham
Yeah.
of all things.
Mm.
Yeah. They made sure they said like, "Hey, guess what, Arkham fans? This is part of your guys' universe."
They did that on purpose,
Series
man.
is ever,
And
man.
They did that
died.
on purpose.
He killed the entire Bat family before he died.
It's not canon to me. I'm sorry. That trilogy is absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm about to pull a Stephen A. Smith. That's just straight disrespectful. Oh,
I'm about to pull a straight RJ Strahan. That's fucking stupid.
It's fucking
It
stupid.
is.
The biggest
Yeah.
piece of
What
dog
were they
shit.
smoking when they thought, oh, yes, this is a good idea? I honestly don't understand what goes through their brains sometimes.
Honestly,
when they think,
surprised Kevin Conroy did
this is
that.
a good idea. Let's do this. Without once considering, hey, this is a bit shit. Let's not do this.
I'm honestly surprised that Kevin Conroy even did it.
Yeah.
well, he wasn't feeling well at the same time, and he probably was just trying to get some money. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was like going through his like chemo or whatever, but he just kept it on the down low. Yeah. So
I mean, and it is Crisis, so it makes sense that they reached out to him like, "Hey, can you?"
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
Crisis. Is
Hey,
I mean, they
That's
even
good as well because like Crisis on Infinite Earths is one of my favorite comic runs, and I really like it. And it's been butchered now too much, and I don't want to.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say
another
the
thing.
last,
I hope the
time he was-
DCU does not do Crisis anytime soon because
No,
I don't
not
think.
for
No, I'm gonna be
I was
real.
gonna-
I don't think they should do it at all.
Well, I was gonna say the last time they
stay
did
away
it
from that.
on the CW, they really butchered.
I think
Oh,
DC.
I-
I think the new DCU should stay away from the multiverse.
Personally, like especially when you look
Yeah.
at like what Crisis on Infinite Earths is with all these different comic runs and then rebooting them onto one. They've already done that twice now. We don't. The way I see it,
every
DCU
universe is doing it. It's a
Yeah.
multiverse.
Yeah, and also they keep
Bro.
doing it in
Stay
the
away from
comics and they keep restarting the universe. It gets
Yeah,
tiring after a while.
it's-
Like, how
that's
many
what the
like,
that's what the animated movies did. And look what
there's
happened.
so many crises, dude. Like there's Final
Yeah.
Crisis.
literally
Infinite
have the
Crisis.
DCU, be it like Justice League Unlimited or like the TV show.
The only
just like
multiverse stuff that
that's
should be happening is the Elseworlds. That's it.
And
Like,
Flash.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, elsewhere.
Yeah, Flash at a stretch. Anything else that's like multiverse Batman all at once? No.
I'm
And
so
like the
sick
same-
of it.
no.
I'm so sick of it.
Dog, if
I'm
I see
tired.
another, if I
I
see
see
Batman
it.
multiverse come out, bro. I'm
I've
sorry.
had enough.
No
I've had
more.
If I
enough.
see another multiverse in general, I'm done, bro. Like, can we
I
please
just
not do
want
this?
DCU to be one linear universe, one story at a time, characters, woven stories, linear
Yeah, because
storytelling.
DC arguably has like the most iconic characters in comic book.
And
But
they
the
only
thing is,
use
they do.
They only
They do.
use
No,
two
yeah,
of
I
them.
was just saying, like, you know,
They only use two of them, Batman and Joker. That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
They can
Yeah.
go.
And Harley Quinn.
Because that's all
like,
DC
that's the
wants
thing.
is,
Like
is
DC,
Joker and
they
Batman.
don't need the multiverse. They just like you. They're so. The thing about DC, they haven't done one of the most iconic story. Like they haven't done any of
Not
like
a
the
few.
big storylines from the comics, especially with the Justice League.
Yeah.
because they haven't gotten their shit.
Yeah.
right. And
They haven't even
Yeah.
done Dark Side yet, dude.
yeah,
Yeah, we only got a glimpse of Darkseid.
Done the best Batman, Superman solo stories yet.
All Star Superman.
Yeah.
Not done. Like,
There's so much we didn't do.
We haven't done
Brainiac
Poe's
hasn't been
Enemy.
on
We
screen
haven't
yet.
done.
it's not
Not
a
on screen.
DC has the potential. Like they got so many good
James
storylines.
Gunn, please,
You gotta
please.
stop.
that's
with
one
the
thing.
mul- you
Okay,
gotta
that's one thing
stop
James
with the
Gunn will do.
multiverse
He
shit.
will reach for good stories. He won't keep doing the same thing. That's one thing.
Like
he will
I'm
do.
glad. I'm glad that what I like that James Gunn did do, and you know, there's some stuff that I don't like that he's doing. But one thing
Oh,
I
yeah,
do like
I
is
agree.
that he said that they're not gonna film these projects and put them out unless everything is perfect.
Yeah.
Like he says,
Yeah.
that when they
And for the
write
people that say,
project-
"Oh well, he said about Aquaman and Flash," that was before his
Not
time.
his,
and
not
that
his
was-
movies.
and that was
Those are
him
not
saying,
his
right,
movies.
You're now the head. Go and
He
advertise.
tried everything he could to save them, but at the end of the day, like those were sunk
Yeah.
costs. Like he can't.
Yeah,
he's not gonna
and
put money
those
in
were a
the
lost
movie.
cause. Those were always going to tank. Like,
Yeah.
it's like you've literally just told your audience don't care about these movies, but go watch the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
That's like me saying don't care about next week's stream, but watch next week's stream.
I still don't know why they did that. They could have waited to make that announcement until after they came out, but what it is, what it is.
Yeah, I don't think that James Gunn. I don't think they should announce those projects. I think he should have just kept it Superman Legacy, and pretty much Superman Legacy. And
I mean, I
Superman
also
that's
think
it.
that with some
Maybe
characters,
Brave and the Bold too. At most, people
like,
where's
with some-
Batman?
speaking of Brave and the Bold, before I let Danny say something in a second. One thing I will say is that characters that haven't been announced in a slate, like Flash or whatever, they'll be there eventually. They will. I think he's just letting the dust settle from this Flash
He
situation.
wants to do the ones. He wants to do the ones that he knows are going to bring in money, and the ones that are just safe
Yeah.
characters. Because
But also the
whether we
ones
like
that
it or
have
not,
to,
Flash is still a risk to do.
but
on
also
screen.
the ones that have to recover from the amount of bullshit that
That's
was
what I'm
done.
saying. Like
I.e. Flash.
Batman,
Because
Superman, and Wonder Woman are safe characters to do.
Sony and Marvel, I want you to listen, right? I don't give a frog's fat ass if they say, "Oh, well, we can butcher Venom, the MCU can have their own." If you butcher the character in your own movie, you give the
Doesn't work.
audience
The damaged brand.
you give them a preconceived notion that it's going to suck when you do it over there.
Yeah,
But for some reason, Venom makes a lot of money. I don't.
There's a lot of Venom,
I don't
there's a lot
get
of
it.
Venom, a lot of Venom
So-
fans.
It wouldn't surprise me if Flash was actually meant to be on that slate already, but because the other one is recent, James is like, "Hang on,
Yeah.
let's leave it off for a minute."
You
Let
gotta
the dust
wait
settle.
for the damage. You gotta wait
Just
for the
let it.
Yeah.
same thing with MCU did with Fantastic Four. You gotta wait for the sting
If
of Fan Four.
anything, Flash will be on like the back half of the slate towards the end. Like he'll be on like the back half.
You know who I want to see though?
Yeah.
DCU Green Arrow. You see
Charlie
Green Arrow.
Hunnam
Yeah.
is Oliver Queen.
yes. Can we please get Green Arrow on live action?
Oliver Queen.
Yeah.
Charlie Hunnam. I think it'd be great. I see the fan
Nice.
casting, but now I'm like Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, he fits. But
Charlie Hunnam would
movie,
kill it.
transition. Danny, didn't you say you were watching through Brave and the Bold?
Yeah, I finished watching it.
Great show.
But I'll talk about that next. I'll talk about that one next week or whatever.
We gave you a
Yeah,
good setup.
next Thursday. So.
You
Yeah,
see,
so,
that setup
yeah.
there that I just did, people, was better than the last 5 MCU post-credit scenes.
Yeah, talk about that one next week because I could go on and on for that.
Imagine.
Are you guys done with?
Yeah, I've said all I needed to say pretty much, but in closing, Kevin Conroy, still rest in peace even
goat.
after all this time.
Undisputed.
Legend, and Mark Hamill,
Yeah.
credit and testament to him for showing solidarity to his friend. It's a trait that people never fail to undervalue, I'm afraid, when
Loyalty.
business and opinions separate loyalty to your brethren. It's a very like people are a dying breed in that regard.
I mean, and before we move on, I'll just say this: they got 2 good voice actors to replace them to start doing their own thing with Jensen Ackles dang, something Baker. Oh man, but yeah, he's Troy Baker. Yeah, Troy Baker. Like, yeah, both of them are really good. It's like they're. I mean, Jensen doesn't sound like Kevin Conroy, but it's his own thing, and it's like okay, I still get Batman vibes from him. You know what I'm saying? And
That's the
then
best way to go about it anyway.
Yeah, and then Troy Baker, he sounds just like Mark Hamill, and Mark Hamill gave him his blessing. Like, I want him to replace me and everything. Like, so there you go. Like,
Okay.
But
I'm not looking forward to this next one, but go on, Danny, set it up.
okay, so these three are going to be having a sort of like a mini debate. Me and Noah, we're just gonna chill and just like watch. We'll let them fight. So it's basically it's the Civil War comic book. I have no fight in this. I'm gonna pull a Jacob. I don't care. I really don't. I don't care. Like So
Right, okay,
my best
I'm
bet
not
is
wasting any time. We're just gonna get straight
watch
into
the
it.
movie.
Cut all
This
the
is
crap. Okay. Anyway, cut all of that. Just watch the movie. The movie is better.
Why are you cutting off Danny? That's not nice.
And no, it's fine. It's fine. Sit back and enjoy the show, Danny. I'm jumping straight in there before I get people jumping down my throat immediately. Now, just listen. Don't talk. Just listen. For God's sake.
Dang.
All right,
Pour that on you guys.
You're saying that.
Now, this comic right here, I will concede it's not the best. Okay, it's not like one of the ones that you know when you get a more breadth of like Marvel knowledge that you instantly go to read. Okay, I will concede that. I'm not wasting any time. I'm just getting straight to the fucking point, right? I will concede that opinions on this movie are split. You either hate it or you love it, and that's fine. Or you just love the good parts, and it was a really great idea, but with poor execution. There's a lot in this, and I did read through this the last few days before the stream. There's a lot of out-of-character decisions that happen in this story. But at its core, at its fundamental core, the reason I like the comic in principle is because it allows us to have a conversation. What is a hero? What happens when a hero is fighting another hero? Where does the line, stay on who's a good guy and who's not? It was more so for the political discussion. Yes, I said politics. For the political
yes, I said politics.
Right, oh my god. More
Yes,
so
yes,
for the
yes,
political discussion and the character conflicts. Now, where some characters are kind of butchered, I will admit, Captain America dying like a bitch, I don't like it. Never did. Spider-Boy revealing his identity, I don't like that either. All right, those are two things that I think we can all agree. Don't like it. I also don't like the fact that it leads into the comic afterwards, which is fucking shit. But it's like blaming The Force Awakens for The Last Jedi. Can't use that as the quantifying factor in that statement. Now, I know y'all don't really care for it as much, but for me, it was my first comic. Okay, it was my first one, and it was fascinating to see these guys go at each other's throats because it was like, oh, I'm used to seeing them fight bad guys. They're now fighting each other. This is interesting. You've got things like the Thing, going against Reed. You've got all this infighting between groups within groups. You've got characters working together that you never thought you'd see. And I think at its concept, there's a really cool idea here. And I think, again, without this, you don't get the movie, which is arguably an infinitely better version and way more impactful. And the stakes are a lot, not necessarily higher, but you can sort of side with both a little bit more. And I think what's interesting for me, especially with this comic, is, the fact that I can read it. I cannot agree with everything in it, for sure. But I still read it. Like, I think it has this sort of catch-22 of, like, I don't like everything that it does. But in a weird type of way, in all the comics and stories that we have nowadays for Marvel, and where movies are at nowadays especially, I like that it isn't afraid to have a bit of ball sack and take a few risks. With this comic, it does go a bit too far in some places. Won't disagree. But one thing I've always said is that I appreciate the fact that it brings to the forefront a situation where the heroes are fighting each other. And look at this art. Just look at this artwork right here, with these characters standing opposite each other and against each other. I like that. And it makes you as the reader or as the watcher question which side of the fence you're on. Who do you stand with? And then 1 minute you think you're siding with Cap. You think, you know what? Cap's being a bit of a dick. I actually signed with Iron Man. Oh, now he's being a douche. Oh, I side with none of them, and for me, I think that's always been the appeal of it to me. It's not Marvel's best comic, but I think it is one of the most recognizable. I think it's one that people will instantly know the minute you say Civil War. I think even all the normies have read this. So for me, not amazing, but I've always appreciated that it took risks in different ways. Now, I'm interested to continue the conversation, but I'm hoping that I've just extended an olive branch and I'm not going to get 50 fucking million insults thrown my way. Like that Chosen
insult you over an opinion.
That Chosen live that I did about a year or two ago, where you called me, I called you, and you're like, I don't agree. 2 years in the making. I don't know what.
He's all into whatever he's watching.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, but RJ, Darius, let's continue the discussion further. I'm interested to piggyback
Darius,
off
I'll go first. You can piggyback off me. Okay, you made a lot of great points. For me, oh Jesus Christ, shouldn't have said that. Anyway, for me, I feel like the biggest issue that I have is that there's too much going on.
That I won't disagree with.
I think there's too many characters, and the problem that I have with I do agree with you on the fact that like it does take chances. I do applaud anybody that takes chances and risk with like characters.
Except this, we don't like this.
Get it off the screen immediately. But I will agree that it does take chances. But the issue that I have with Iron Man and Cap is that you said that 1 minute you're agreeing with one, and then the next minute you're agreeing with like Cap or Iron Man. And my issue with that is that it's too much of that. I think what the movie does better. Get that off the screen, please. I think what the movie does better is that Cap and Tony, they already have their opinions, their established opinions on the Accords. And it's not one's doing things that's like, okay, well, I'm on this side. The thing that the Russos did better is that they have their opinions established, and it's not switchery and all that stuff. Instead what they did was they had people on certain teams like Black Widow that sort of changed sides in a way towards the end, and that's what that's what I feel like the comic should have done instead of having both of them just doing things just for the sake of it and doing out of character stuff. And another thing is, I just feel like this comic, it was trying to do something that got in their own way, and what I mean by that is they thought of an idea. It's a good idea on paper and in concept.
Just poor execution.
The execution of it is just not good. They should just simplify the story and just had a select few characters and not had so many. And I am going to talk about the Spider-Man thing because that really, really pisses me off because it makes
I don't disagree with you on that.
sense whatsoever. I am like, when I first read this and then I turned that page and he's just like, I'm like, oh no, they did not do that. And
yes, they did.
There's no real reason why Peter did what he did. It just makes no sense. Harris, feel free to jump in. I that's where I didn't like it. I hated it.
That's my biggest problem with it's everyone is out of character. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, like when you said, Jacob, when you said that sometimes you root for Tony, sometimes you root for Cap, at no point did I root for Tony in this. They turned Tony into a villain in this, in my opinion. Like some of the stuff that he does, he clones Thor without his permission. And first of all, a clone of Thor, like called Ragnarok. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what's going on? Like, what is going on?
Somehow Thor returned.
And like, the whole reason it starts is stupid. Basically, the New Warriors like blow up a city.
I like how Danny.
It was an accident, but it's just they wouldn't do that. Like they're not that reckless. They wouldn't just. And then this happens. I can't wait to get to that. Oh my god,
get that off the screen.
So Tony's out of character. Cap and Tony. The one thing I like the movie did better. They actually try to talk, like see each other's point of view. And this, they don't even do that. They just the escalation starts immediately, which is and just like the whole story is just. They try to do something interesting, like the pro-registration, anti-registration, trying to make it seem like both sides had good points, right? But then they basically make it one-sided, where it's like, yeah, Cap's the good guy, Tony's the bad guy. Like they try to pretend there's nuance where there's not.
Good. Whoa,
there is no nuance. Like there's no nuance at all here, and
perfect. It's
just like they try to force things to happen to make the plot go a certain way, like. There's no reason. Like Tony in the comics can be not the best guy a lot of the time, but
I feel like they went overboard with this part.
He wouldn't do some of the stuff he does in his comic.
Yeah, like that. They went overboard.
Yeah, for sure. And then, bro, Spider-Man would never join Tony's side. First off, he wouldn't do that. He's not in favor of the government. He wouldn't be in favor of the government, like monitoring heroes. The MCU, it makes more sense because he doesn't really know what's going on. But in the comic, he does, and he's still like, yeah, like I'm for the government having power over superheroes. It doesn't make any sense at all. It goes against his entire character.
Yeah, that's not Peter Parker.
And he does change his mind later on, but not before he leaks his identity to the entire world. And it, like, what is it? And I'm sorry.
You looked so hurt when you said Healy.
Jacob, I know
when I said
you're right
what?
about this. It's not, you can't blame Civil War for this, except you can, because they knew what they were setting up ahead of time. They knew that they were going to do. It's not like Last Jedi. They knew that they were going to do one more day. This is the whole plan. They planned for this.
Comic writers, they talk through each other. They didn't know what they're doing.
Still could have gone a different way.
They knew what they were doing with this, because this is they basically used this as an excuse to reset Spider-Man, because the comics writers don't want to they're afraid of progressing. People, they think that Spider-Man's not relatable when he's married for some reason, so that's why they don't let him get married, which is just
good,
stupid. But
what the fuck, Danny? What on earth?
What are you doing?
Like, why did you just pull this shit out of thin air? Like, carry on.
But it's just,
look at this man.
Character.
Danny holding a Rice Krispie treat box. Now I have seen everything.
Tony's out of character. Cap's even a little bit out of character, because he almost beats Tony to death, which he wouldn't do. It's Spider-Man's out of character. The New Warrior's out of character. People
feels
are
like a big fan fiction.
Yeah, it just feels like they knew that they wanted to end it, but they're like, okay, how do we get there? Let's just make everyone make
just really bad execution,
the worst possible decisions over and over and over. And then when I was reading the comic, it gets saved by the tie-ins, like the tie-in stories. The actual main story is not that interesting in my opinion. It's really the tie-ins that kind of do it about the individual characters, like why they're fighting, like why like why the Thing turns against Reed. That's interesting.
I think that was always my most fascinating thing with it, was just like the infighting between groups, not necessarily Team Cap or Team Iron Man, but how does it affect like Fantastic Four, X-Men, like pre-established groups? Like what does it affect? How does it affect those guys, like, and how they go off of each other, kind of thing? What is it with that small bottle of water? Carry on there.
This is the story that's directly responsible for one more day, and I cannot forgive it for that. I can't.
I never. I hate that. I hate that comic.
Ruined Spider-Man comics for still to this day. Haven't recovered from it. Still bad. This gave us Paul. If you know who Paul is, you know. If you know, you know. My God,
why did you say that name,
Paul?
Why did you say that name? Should I get a picture of him?
And then also gave us Civil War 2, which is a worse version of this. By the way.
Civil War 2 is disgustingly awful. I hate that comic. That one I do not like. At all.
Civil War is such a promising concept, and I feel like they just went about it in the most uninteresting.
It felt like they got the concept of, okay, let's have these characters fight each other, but let's not give them any. Let's just do it because we can. Let's not actually like give it real depth, if you know what I mean. And
it felt like kids playing with their action figures, where it's just like,
because all the tie-in characters are cool, like how we were saying with X-Men and Fantastic Four. When those guys are in fighting,
they have reasons.
I like seeing how it affects them. But it would be even stronger if Cap's motivations and Tony's motivations were significantly more assured and stronger. And I feel like this comic kind of does fall short on bits and pieces of that. You see, this is the one thing I always wanted to do with this topic, because I've never actually had a chance to have a dialogue about it, because we're always going into a shouting match of, oh, it sucks, it's this, it's that, it's whatever. But when we actually sit down and have a conversation, Noah, I swear, is that a headband, sir? Good man.
Good man. Like, I have a similar one. Continue.
Legend. Join the band. Yes. Good. Join the bandana squad.
Also, like, I don't like that the comic basically hints that Tony was right, which
I don't like that. It should have been left.
If you listen to what Tony actually wants, which is like surveillance and stuff like that, that's not something that I personally agree with. But I don't like that they chose a side when they were like, yeah, guys, we're not choosing sides, but then they did. It's like, well, then why did you pretend like there was nuance here if there's not? which
There
that's
is
my
a
biggest
time.
problem with it. You present yourself as a complex story where you can understand both points of view, but then they clearly paint one point of view in the right. It's like, then why did you try to?
I think that's
convince
where
me?
this comic falls short of the mark, is it doesn't really have distinctive reasons to root for one or the other. Like outside of like the characters are beefing, it doesn't really present argument or conversation where it really makes you go, okay, if I side with Cap, this. If I side with Tony, this. It doesn't actually make you do that. You know, it's just more of like, okay, I guess these guys are fighting now. You know, I love how this man went off camera just to say his was bigger than mine. Wow.
Yeah, that's the gist of it.
I agree fully in principle. You know, I've just always been an advocate for the idea. It's just the execution is poor.
Oh yeah, the idea is sound. That's why the movie.
The idea is
does
freaking amazing. It's just
the movie does it
execution
really good. The movie's. I never know people say a lot of people think the comic is better than the movie, which I never get that. I never understood that.
At face
I didn't
value.
think that.
Who the hell said that?
A lot of comics fans, you'd be surprised.
Sorry, man.
I mean, I might have said it in the past, but that's for trolling purposes. But in genuine sincerity, no. Because at least in the movie, yes, you have Team Cap and Team Iron Man, but that's a cherry on top of the discussion. You have Cap and Iron Man's arguments that are so clearly presented, and you know, right, okay, this is how this guy feels. Do I agree with this? Or vice versa. In the comic, it's just like, as I was saying, RJ, when you were away, it's basically like me and Darius were talking about the tie-ins and how the infighting in the groups is way more interesting than actually Cap and Iron Man. And it should be a compliment to that. It shouldn't be the best thing about it, you know? But in actuality, the movie does that infinitely better. And all the tie-in characters around it complement it. Whereas the comic, no. Yeah. And it leads into a new day. I'll extend that olive branch. So sorry for disappointing people that expected a civil war to happen here. We've always been on the same page. I just needed to articulately express my opinion. That's why I said don't talk, listen. And then we go from there. And now we're hit. See, we agree.
The fact that you said that. Yeah.
What was that supposed to mean?
You say that, you interrupt me. Don't talk, just listen.
Yeah, because I always get interrupted before I'm making a point that prevents an argument. That's why.
Oh! Okay. We're going to go there. Okay.
All right. This is the good job. Okay. Let's switch this thing up.
Not enough chaos for you. I need to see the world burn, kind of thing.
Not enough, but anyway.
Am I right or am I
right? Okay. Spider-Man 4. So our favorite Miles Morales is probably going to be in this movie. What do you guys think about this?
Source.
It was like the Daniel RPK.
Who is this geezer? Does he just pull this shit out of his ass?
I mean, he has a pretty good track record. So.
Why is everything Daniel RPK? Like if he's right, then he's right. But like every freaking.
To be fair, he's not he's not the only person to say this. Some other people have said this too.
Yeah. I mean, we knew this was going to happen at some point or another, but.
He said, "Who is this geezer?"
If there's anything that we can take away from the previous discussion that we've just had, is it a cool idea? Yeah. It's all in the execution.
Okay, I'm okay with this as long as he is not Spider-Man in this movie. If he is just Miles, I think what this movie should do with him is introduce him as the character Miles, like have him present and all that stuff. Have him living in the apartment for all I care. I don't know, but just don't have him be Spider-Man because of No Way Home's ending. But I feel like if you just have him be Spider-Man, you're kind of like just ruining No Way Home's ending in a way. A little bit, not really, but I just don't want them to just have it to where like he's already Spider-Man, because I feel like what this movie should do is, if I was writing it, I would have it to where like he's just a character and like he's a Spider-Man fan, just kind of like how the game does it, and then in post-credit scene he gets bit, and then it ties into like a Miles Morales movie. That's how I would do it. but
I just don't want it to feel like a shoehorn.
what
You know,
the hell is wrong with you? Like,
I want it to be a moment that is earned. Like, and this is where the game did it very well. Is it built it up correctly? And with Sony going, oh no, we need to throw Miles into this. Like, don't just throw him into it just because his name's popular right now. Like, do it at the right moment and do it correctly. Don't just shove him in and go, oh, he's bit by a spider. We've got Miles in the movie. Post credit scene.
I do think they gotta introduce. I do think they have to do that though.
I swear to Christ, if Spider-Man 4 drops and all I see on YouTube is post-credit scene breakdown, Spider-Man 4 post-credit scene.
Well, you're gonna see that anyway. You're gonna see that anyway.
What about the movie?
They do that with every Marvel movie.
Yeah. But like I've said before, with No Way Home, the movie was a banger, and the post-credit scene was just cherries on top. That's all it should be. It shouldn't be like the defining thing, which is what I'm hoping for. But we're just, I'm just trying to keep my fingers crossed. But Miles is a character that is okay. How do I say this in the right way? If you were to tell me that Miles was entering Andrew's universe or Toby's universe, I'd buy it because they're. I'm just gonna say it as it is. They look more like Spider-Man.
They're retired.
No, they look like Spider-Man. Tom, he looks like a teenager. Like it's like having your sidekick being taught from another teenager. It just feels a bit.
I mean, what if Miles? We don't know how old Miles will be in this movie. What if he's like an?
He won't be that young. They'll want him in a movie as soon as possible. Like
I don't know that.
Shit.
No, I'm just saying. You just never know. Because, like I said,
same company that spunk Venom in.
I don't know about that, bro.
Like I said, I don't think that he's gonna be Spider-Man in this movie. Like, you kind of have to have him.
He'll be in the movie.
Like, how many more times do we like?
But we're talking about a company right here.
I'm not saying.
Oh, sorry, my bad,
to,
man.
Like, have a discussion here. Like,
yeah,
like. What the fuck was that?
My bad, dog.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't think they're gonna, like, yes, we all know Sony is gonna Sony, but
so I was gonna say
it's gonna, huh?
That's what I was gonna say because Danny said.
No, I'm just saying, I don't care about Sony. I'm just saying, I just think that what they'll do is they'll just have them like introduce them because they kind of have to do it because they've been name dropping them, like they name dropped them in Homecoming. It's like the same thing with Scorpion. You got to have Scorpion appear some way. Like,
yeah, and they've really done a lot with that thus far.
I mean, like, as long as Miles is, you said what? Cheesecake?
Nacho, yeah.
Nacho.
No, I said they've really done a lot with that, haven't they?
But yeah, like, it's just like they have to like just establish him. And I'm not saying he shouldn't be Spider-Man by any means.
That would be cool, but like, I just hope that they do it well, because it's like. We're only just now getting right. Don't all the Spider-Man Tom Holland stands in the comments. We're only just now getting Spider-Man. Like we're only just now getting it. Like Spider-Man. Like he's in his own element now. He's got no money, no whatever. He's at the roots of why we root for the character. Focus on that. Like, I don't want Miles to come in there and create a distraction. And it's like, oh my God, Miles, when's he going to get the suit? When's he going to get the powers? It's like, well, hang on. Can we still see where this character's going?
Well, hang on.
Wait a minute. What were you just doing?
He was.
I don't fucking know. Anyway, it's 3 a.m. here for me. Like, allow me, for God's sake. Anyway, focus on one. What did I miss?
Don't worry about it. Keep rolling. Keep rolling.
What did I miss? We're not doing this whole ass.
Keep rolling. No. Like, keep on going. You're on a flow. Keep on going.
Fuck.
Go on. Go on now.
Someone else next. I've lost my point now completely. I've lost my point now. Someone else carries.
I guess I'll go.
Completely.
I'm not gonna lie. This does feel like a Sony decision.
Thank you.
But they can still make the best out of it. They can still. I think there is a way to tie this into Peter's arc because if Peter is alone and by himself and feeling down and stuff, like he can see Miles as like a reason to keep going. You know, somebody who believes in Spider-Man, someone who's going through similar things they used to go through. It can work. It can be done. I agree. He should not be Spider-Man in this movie, though.
Or the next.
Yeah, or even the next one, really. But if it's just a kid, he takes under his wing a few times. He talks to a few times. Maybe Miles' mom. Maybe they're gonna do something where Miles' mom takes over Feast.
There we go.
Maybe Miles' mom takes over Feast from Aunt May because now Aunt May's dead, obviously. So maybe Miles' mom takes over that, or maybe Peter works with Miles' dad because Miles' dad's a cop. So maybe Peter works with Miles' dad to help defeat the villain or something like that. Peter works with the police. There's a lot of things they could do, but people concerned about like Miles overshadowing Peter. I don't think that's a real concern to have. I mean, Peter's still the one that makes the money.
Yeah, how would he do it if he's not like?
And it's still Tom Holland. Like that's still the star of the movie. I don't think they're gonna do that. Like,
fuck.
And especially if they go with the whole like the Kingpin and Daredevil stuff, like Miles. That's going to be the primary focus.
Like that's why I'm not concerned about this at all.
Because Miles doesn't really fit into any of that. Miles probably be like
he's just going to be a borderline side character if he's in it.
But yeah, I just all the stuff coming around this movie, like. I'm more concerned about the multiverse stuff that Sony was allegedly trying to put into it. That's what I'm concerned about.
Every time I hear about this company, there's just a whole boatload of shit.
You said, okay, the one thing I will disagree with, you said that it's like I don't think it's a Sony thing. I think this is a Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal thing with the Miles thing.
I think it's an all three thing.
I think they both want like to have Miles. Because if you heard what Amy said, she said like we're not gonna do like a live action Miles movie until we make 2 more Spider-Man movies, and that's probably gonna come after the 4th film and after Beyond the Spider-Verse. It's like like you said, I just don't think I think Miles will be borderline, like he might barely be in it, like because if Daredevil was in this movie, it's gonna be a Spidey and Daredevil team up movie, and like you can't really fit Miles into that.
Yeah,
it's borderline.
Yeah, I don't see Miles having a big role at all. He'll probably have 2 or 3 scenes with Peter, and maybe Spider-Man saves him or something like that, and that's how he becomes a fan of Spider-Man. Especially if they bring Prowler back in here, which I think might be a possibility. If Prowler's in here, it makes even more sense to have Miles in here because that's his uncle.
His uncle. Yeah.
And they kind of like you said, they name dropped him in Homecoming, so we know Miles exists. So I don't know. I don't think he'll have a big presence in this movie. Now, if he does, I do agree that will be a mistake. It's too early. I just don't see that happening.
If he has a big presence, I will agree with you.
Yeah, I just don't see that happening as of now. But if it's done well, it could be really good. Because Peter and Miles have a good relationship, especially in the games and the Spider-Verse. And it's kind of weird that Spider-Man gets to have his sidekick before Batman does in the big screen. That's kind of funny to me.
Is he okay?
What is going on? Like, what?
Oh Lord, what did they put in this petition?
I don't think they put anything. I think they're messing each other. So.
Anyway, I guess it's my turn.
Hang on. I'm finished. I was going to say that. Look, it's going to happen inevitably at one stage or another. I just want it to be a position where one complements the other, you know? And I think for me, it's a harder sell for Tom, especially because it sounds like I'm listening to a boy while he's doing while he's talking to, while he's being Spider-Man, you know? And I feel like, again, the problem I have is we're just now getting the mature Spider-Man take, like right off the back of that No Way Home, like great arc that led him onto this path. I want us to focus on that for a bit. So if Miles is in this next film as like a side character, he's just there, have him be a side character in the film, like in the 5th one, and then give him like the bite at the end of the film. Like don't do it at the end of the 4th one. Like just so that way we have a bit of time to establish it. And then that way by the end of this new trilogy, Miles is established and then we can go from there kind of thing, you know? And then it's better. because then we get some time more with the street level Spidey focus, you know? And that's what I think Spider-Man really needs right now.
I agree.
Totally agree.
What's up, Anthony?
I think it will be stupid if they were to put in Miles early. You know, because like it's like Jacob said, like we still haven't got to know Tom Holland Spider-Man because, you know, we just associated him with more of the Avengers more than anything. I should say that was just my only problem with Tom Holland Spider-Man more than anything. That I always wanted a solo always wanted a solo Spider-Man movie with him or whatever. But, you know, yeah, I think Sony is not stupid enough to do it, but then again, Sony going Sony or whatever.
Madam Web.
Yeah.
Don't say
movie
that.
Yeah, we should
the
agree.
movie that managed to pull off nothing.
Did you guys see what Sydney Sweeney said about it on SNL?
Yeah.
Yes,
I'd
I
rather
saw
not.
that.
What did you say?
She
Well,
says
what
like
did you
I was not in that film. But
Jesus.
overall, I mean, even though I like making fun of Miles because it's fun for me, and like I know it makes a lot of people mad too at the
Some
same
men
time.
just want to watch the world burn. That's what it is. You just like chaos.
Yes, I love chaos.
You do.
Other than that, I hope he does do good with his stuff or whatever. Like, you know, I like the first Miles Morales movie. Like, I thought it was pretty dope. The second one was alright or whatever, but for the most part, like, I hope he does his thing, do his little thing good or whatever. Him getting the spider powers or whatever, you know, is what it is. Yeah,
No.
it's just
Oh,
how
no.
I feel.
Oh, nah. Oh, nah. No.
Is something okay?
Sorry, the second one was just okay.
Yeah,
Oh, we're having
I like the first one better.
Fair. No, actually, I'll give you that. I was about to
That's
say.
fair.
Fucking hell.
I love the first one. I like the first one better. I thought it was a better movie. Yeah.
I will say though, when we get Miles in the MCU, that soundtrack is gonna hit different though. That Miles Morales movie soundtrack,
Mm-hmm.
New York rap
They
in
have to
it.
get.
that's gonna be good.
Here's another thing. Why I wanted to take their time on Miles. They have to get the right casting. Like they have to really get.
That's another thing.
Earlier on about
Finding
how
Miles gonna be
making bad movies and fucking up characters can also can set bad precedents, but the same can be said for setting good precedents as well. And the animated movies have really cemented their place with that killer soundtrack. Like
People
you're
love
gonna have
Miles
to
now,
top that. That's not going to be easy.
Yeah,
and I
was
hope they
thinking-
go unknown for Miles. I hope they go with a known kid. They give a kid a chance.
Not
Like they did-
Jaden
like they did with
Smith.
Tom Holland.
Anyone
You know,
says that one more time.
Jaden
Also,
Smith
they
as
gotta
Miles Morales.
They gotta finish and focus on Spider-Verse before.
Jaden.
Yeah, they gotta
bringing
write
in-
that wave and finish that first. I agree.
Yeah, yeah.
finish
They gotta
Spider-Verse.
finish that
Nice. No.
before
complete your
Miles Morales.
trilogy.
It's because it's literally the equivalent of two Batmans at the same time. It's having the animated
Yeah.
Miles and
To be fair,
and,
kind of is.
the live action.
There's already
Yeah.
yeah.
True that.
Yeah,
Is that it?
What the
Are you
hell?
done, TCK? That's all you wanted? Yeah.
pretty much. You guys covered it all. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, let's have some fun. We're moving on to the next subject. Yes. All right. Like so, last week we had some fun TCK on like you know what was the better networks of like Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and Disney Channel. So this is a little bit more of Saturday morning cartoons. A little bit. So
Yep,
so
that's important.
when you guys were younger, what did you watch more? Who do you think had the better lineup between Fox Kids,
Well,
Kids WB, and ABC 13?
well,
Yeah.
I can't speak for the other two because I don't actually.
Oh,
We had them over here, but Fox Kids, I lived on that religiously, so I'm just going to go with that by default. So it kind of rules me out of the discussion. So I leave it to you guys to debate because I can't. I don't
Before
really
my
have a-
time, I had Jetix though, and some other shit.
Or to make this even fun, because TCK didn't get to have it, get to talk about what he thought between which is better, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney, we could go through that again. Because you know what? Hell, it's fun and we do whatever the fuck we want.
Are we talking about?
I'm definitely not putting a poll in the chat again.
Are we talking about strictly only animation or everything?
Everything.
Everything.
That's
Because there's
tough.
no benchmark. It's just, yeah.
That's really tough.
Yeah, it's tougher than you think. We talked about that.
It's like when I start naming all the shows, like Jacob thought it was gonna be just Cartoon Network easy. He's like, dang.
Most people still went with Cartoon Network anyway.
I
But
think we broke it down like this: like Cartoon Network had
the shows,
had the most hits, like, but Nickelodeon had the best like
hell yes,
sitcoms
that
and
is shot.
stories. Disney produced the most stars, obviously.
Yeah, that's not.
I think
Yeah,
for me, I grew up on all three.
It was on ABC.
I grew up on all three: Disney, Nickelodeon, and Cartoon Network. I
can pick good.
I remember iCarly was my favorite growing up.
oh
for
yeah,
sure.
Our Carly was underrated. Really
Yeah,
good.
always was
my
a way
boy
to
Gibby,
replace
Gibby,
Cartoon
bro.
Yeah.
Best character in fiction. Gibby's
Yeah.
the best character.
Gibby.
iCarly
And
was
yo,
like
Boomerang,
out of
you
a little
actually
bit
know
out of my time, but
Yeah,
like
Boomerang
I'll
was-
catch a couple
Boomerang was heat.
episodes.
I have
Yeah.
a hot take. I
I'll
think our Carly has a better story than Drake and Josh.
I agree.
Okay, I won't go that fucking far.
I like
I
I
feel like
agree.
Drake and Josh overstayed its welcome a little bit.
Drake and Josh.
Oh
had better
man,
characters.
like
I
I'm
hate-
sorry,
Had better
like
characters.
I hate to say it, but once Josh lost weight, he wasn't funny anymore.
Yeah, it's
Really?
You're right. No one
See,
wants to
we'll
say
replace-
it. It's true though.
I don't have to talk in this fight.
for me, this is where I go. Like, this is how I feel it. Okay, I think Josh got crazier and he got more of a backbone. But like, what replaced the funniness was Crazy Steve. That's what like satisfied for me and everything.
Yeah,
Like,
but we got like all Crazy Steve as Spencer and iCarly. And he
Yeah,
was in
but
every
he was
episode.
that's different though. Like, that's his brother. Like, it's
There's so many.
like
theories.
Crazy Steve.
There's so many theories that they're like the same guy.
I seen the theories though. I seen the theories.
Well, we know they share a universe because of Victorious. So like,
Yeah.
we know it's
Yeah.
all connected.
That's also a good one.
Yeah, Victorious.
No, because like, dude, like when
ending of Victorious is terrible.
Josh's girlfriend was taking over the movie theater or whatever, and Crazy Steve had those shoes. Cock-a-doodle doo, the cow says moo. Cock-a-doodle doo.
That was nuts, man.
That man was like,
Crazy Steve was nuts, man.
yeah,
I love Crazy Steve, dude. Come on. No, that's basically what he said. Cock-a-doodle doo, the cow says moo. You ate my enchilada.
He was crazy. No, he was the definition. He was crazy. Like he earned
That dude was
name.
insane,
He
bro.
was insane.
Nothing of more.
He was nuts, man.
No, TCK. Did you watch Good Luck Charlie?
I did watch Good Luck Charlie. I was gonna
Yes.
mention that for Disney. Wizards of Waverly Place,
Oh, yes.
Hannah Montana, Good Luck Charlie, Austin and
Yeah.
Ally,
Those are a little bit. Those are after my
Zach and
time.
Cody. Oh, Zach and
Oh,
Cody.
Sweet
Okay,
Life?
second.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet Life.
Sweet Life and Zach and Cody. This is the sweet life.
Impossible, of course.
Impossible, yeah.
Kill Possible.
Phineas and Ferb.
Oh,
He's
Phineas
never
Ferb.
going
Oh
wrong
yeah,
That is
yeah.
Harry's my god.
Harry.
Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls is fire.
Dark. That was a dark show.
That
You
was
said
dark
Gravity-
shit,
Yeah.
bro.
No, Bill is one of the greatest villains. Like, Bill is insane, dude.
My dad wouldn't even let me watch that till a certain age.
It was demonic. That's what demonic stuff.
Gravity Falls. That's out of my time. So like,
Good show. Actually has a story.
And then Nickelodeon, like Drake and Josh, Victorious, iCarly,
Avatar.
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 Can't forget about that.
Yeah.
They had so much SpongeBob, of course.
Unfortunately, the live action was a Ford in the wind. It's not bad, but
Didn't even
it's like
bother
bad.
watching.
Still, yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it.
I'll watch
Eh.
There's
I'm
only
not
one
watching
reason.
it.
There's only one reason I'm watching it though.
Oh, Suki.
Suki. Suki.
No.
Cartoon Network,
though.
Ben 10.
Regular show.
Ben 10, regular show of Batman the Brave and the Bold, underrated as shit.
Underrated.
Hey, so
That
I'm
was
gonna
my
put
first
that on the
love.
list next year. I mean, next week.
Next year.
Noah. So you,
Next year, you gotta wait a whole year.
yeah,
Next year we wait all year.
Also,
Yeah.
Beyblade,
yes.
Beyblade, dude. Beyblade at its peak.
Let it
Beyblade,
rip,
Beyblade,
thank you. Now we're talking
Okay.
my language. Beyblade.
I can never get into Beyblade. Like
I'm
I know.
sorry, Beyblade was absolutely.
I watched
awesome.
both
It was
Beyblades,
so
the OG
beautiful.
one and
Oh.
the other
Mwah.
one. I watched both.
I could never get into it. Like I watched it and I was like, I know I can watch Yu-Gi-Oh, but I can't watch spinning
Also,
tops.
Pokemon.
Like take it.
Black
I'm
and white.
sorry, Beyblade was freaking badass. I freaking love that show so much.
Young Justice.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Young Justice when it was good. Yeah.
When it was
yeah.
good.
Can't
Hot
forget Clone
take.
Wars.
Sure.
Before HBO Max ruined it.
And
Yeah. Before
Star Wars
HBO
The
Max
Clone
ruined
Wars.
that.
Fire.
Yeah, the OG miniseries 03.
Oh yeah,
And
the
the
OT.
other one. Both of them.
Mace
were,
Windu
Yeah.
punching the shit out of droids.
Samurai
Like,
Jack.
Samurai Jack. Yeah.
Samurai Jack.
I was looking at the Iron Man 2 fight scene when they fight in the drones. Apparently, Gennady Tartovsky, I think that's his name, he actually choreographed that scene.
That explains
Really?
a lot.
Oh, you know what we're forgetting on Cartoon Network? Teen Titan, bro.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Teen Titan.
I want my Titan in season
Yay!
6. Like,
Did you guys
Bro, that
watch
episode-
Johnny
bro.
Bravo?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
of course, sir.
Powerpuff
I remember when it
Powerpuff
dropped.
Girls. Powerpuff
That
Girls
shit was
fire. I
wild.
don't know what it
And shit, what was it called?
Oh,
Well, like I
Flapjack was
said,
weird,
you
bro.
you could go into school as a dude and say that you watch Powerpuff Girls and not get bullied because
Yep.
everyone loved it.
Everyone was Powerpuff.
Do, 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 do. I just think him was just weird. Him was
Yeah,
on some
him-
other
him
Total
shit.
was-
drama. That's
him
what
was
it's called.
scary.
Total drama.
That was they
Total
did
drama?
good at first. They started off good, but then they made too
He
many.
got so bad later
Got
on.
so
though.
bad.
Yeah,
They
Total
there
Drama
some
Island.
innuendos in that show.
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
lot of innuendos.
they were.
They
I was saying
they
like
girls
this could have been
they had
a
girls
this could have been
bra
an
come
adult.
in the
Yeah.
show. I was like, yo.
This could have been an Adult Swim show, to be honest with you. Like,
The flashbacks of when they switched
yeah.
to Adult Swim when Cartoon Network was
Yeah.
on at night.
Yeah,
as soon as King of the Hill
King of the-
comes on,
King of-
dun, dun, dun,
King
dun,
of the
dun, 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 dun.
God damn it, Bobby.
I freaking love King of the Hill. Like straight up Texas humor, by the way. I love it. Yeah, like
God damn it, Bobby!
God damn it, Bobby. Of course, Rick and Morty. That was pretty funny. Oh, Dad. No, I love my favorite character. My favorite character on King of the Hill is Cotton Hill. Hank's dad. Like he's freaking hilarious, man. I killed 50 men. I killed 50 men.
Dale's an idiot, but he's funny, bro.
Yeah, Dale is freaking hilarious. Like he be talking about conspiracy theories and like.
Also, we forgot Adventure Time. Goated.
Oh,
Adventure
yeah.
Time. Holy shit. Yeah.
Adventure Time.
Regular show.
See, I never watched Adventure Time. It never. Even
Funny show, Gumball, dude.
Yeah.
Gumball's
That was a
hilarious.
weird show. That was a weird show.
It's so weird.
amazing.
I watched the first season. Never finished it though.
I watched like bits and pieces. I didn't love it.
I didn't see the appeal.
There was some of your guys' cartoons that I like watched just a couple because like when my little cousins would come over and I'm watching them, like they'll have those shows on. I'm like,
So I probably
it's not that bad. My cartoons
let's-
were better,
let's
but like
separate it. Let's do
My
the goats of all the
cartoons are better.
let's do the goats of all the generations. So like late 90s, early 2000s goats, and then like the new gen goats. Like they separate it. So for cartoons
Okay.
first. So
for
like
Cartoon Network.
yeah, just for cartoons in general. Like, late 90s.
Oh, okay.
So like Ben 10, Rugrats,
Teen Titans.
Powerpuff Girls, all that stuff, and then like separate it with like regular show,
Okay.
Adventure Time, Gravity Falls, like all that stuff.
Got you. So I guess we'll start with Cartoon Network first. However, like if we're talking about 90s, mid 2000s, Ed, Edd and Eddie, Johnny Bravo, Billy and Mandy,
Eddie was the shit.
Dexter. Oh, Dexter. I forgot Dexter's Lab. That's up there.
Dexter Laboratory.
Danny, you've got someone.
What's going on, boy?
Who's
Yo,
that?
MMA.
What's going on, sir? Good to see you, Nagarol. Good to see you, bro.
Yeah, Harry
Good to see you, bro. Shout out to you, brother. Um, what else? I'm trying to think. Johnny Bravo, Scooby Doo.
Where are
Uh,
Courage
Was
and Cowardly
Cat
Dog.
Dog on Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network?
that was Nickelodeon, but the ending was pretty good. Like for a cat dog, when we get to Nickelodeon,
AR?
that's on Nickelodeon.
Arnold,
Okay, all right. So, do we throw on, like, to be fair, do we throw on the DC animated stuff onto
No.
Cartoon Network or and
Kind
Toonami
of.
stuff or
Kind
could we do that? Or because then if you add the anime and DC animation, it kind of blows everything else blows everything else out the water.
Yeah.
They have Teen Titans at least.
Okay,
Young
you know what?
Justice.
I'll put Teen Titans and Justice League. I'll leave Toonami off of there just to make it fair or whatever.
Oh man.
I think that's the main people for Cartoon Network. I guess we'll go with Nicktoons next. What you guys think for 90s and
SpongeBob.
2000s?
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob was 90.
Oh yeah,
SpongeBob,
Yeah.
99.
For a long time.
Under the sea.
Yeah.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
What is the big
Oh,
SpongeBob?
Rugrats. That's up there for me. I love Rugrats.
Oh, Rugrats.
yeah, Rugrats, Invader Zim.
Oh, yeah.
Dib!
No, Fairly Odd Parents got really bad after a while, but
Oh, I hated that. I hated that.
I hated the ending of Fairly Odd Parents or whatever. Like, it was good, and then like as soon as they brought in the baby and the girl,
Yeah.
I was like, yep, it's a wrap. It's a
I
wrap.
separate like this. Pre Channel Chasers, it was peak. After that,
Yeah.
they got bad. Channel Chasers was like the last good thing they did.
Jimmy Neutron, was that 90s or 2000s?
Early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
Early
All right,
2000s.
Yeah.
Jimmy Neutron. And what was it?
Danny Phantom. Duh,
Danny
of
Phantom.
course.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, Danny Phantom.
Obviously, Avatar. Avatar
Oh,
is number
Johnny
one.
Test.
God
That's-
damn.
That's Cartoon Network. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it?
It's because it's part of Warner Brothers, so like it's like Cartoon Network.
Just for context for the people in the chat, let's all say the year we were born. 1997. RJ.
2001.
Darius.
2003.
Danny.
91.
Noah.
2006.
Yow. There you go. There's some context for all of our ages.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah. Wild Thornberries. Can't forget about Wild Thornberries and Cat Dog.
I'm gonna make a cup of tea.
Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy. You idiot.
You
idiot.
You fucking stupid.
Doug.
Pinky
Of
and
course, Doug. Yeah.
What was Pinky in the Brain? When did that come on?
Pinky in the
Brain.
brain.
That came on. It switched back and forth. It'll be Cartoon Network, and then Warner Brothers will license it out to Nickelodeon or whatever.
Yeah, that one was like I remember seeing that on both for some reason.
Yeah.
And then
It's more of a Warner Brothers show, so I have to give that to Cartoon Network. Like it'll like Animaniacs and like Looney Tunes and all of them. Like those are like Warner Brothers stuff or whatever.
then you got Recess.
But
Rugrats. was freaking-
Recess.
I love
That
Rugrats.
was a good one.
so that's going into Disney territory. So I guess we'll hop in on Disney. Recess. What else do you guys think?
Impossible.
Wait, hang on, Danny.
Kim
did you say
Possible.
something last week about Weasel.
That's on Cartoon Network, sir.
I'm
Oh, sorry.
I
I am Weasel. I am Weasel.
Only none of those.
For Disney, okay, we're not counting the Disney classics. Can't be bringing in like Little Mermaid and Hercules and Lion King up in here. Like we gotta keep it strictly
Emperor's New
shows.
Groove? They made a show
Emperor-
Emperor's New Groove. It's actually really good. The show was like
It was better than the movie.
yeah, the show was
Yeah, much
hilarious.
better than the movie.
Really? Because I thought the
Yeah,
movie
I
was like, I thought the movie was funnier.
The
The
movie was
show is-
funny, but the show I think hit more of those beats for me. Like it
The
just-
show was
it
hilarious.
It was just
The movie
hilarious.
was really, really weird.
It's got some innuendos.
Dude, I'm sorry. Like when they were going over the waterfall, that was just hilarious, man. He's just like, We're about to go over the bridge.
Not even innuendos. They just show it
They just show it.
in that movie.
They basically said, like, you know what?
If we include the live action
You see
stuff,
with the girl
they
in
got
that movie?
oh yeah, Disney live action stuff. There's a lot. Sweet Life.
See, like if you're gonna talk live action, then Cartoon Network has to go down, to stay out of it. And we could talk about that. Ooh, better live action show. You know what? Darius, you're a freaking genius, sir. Like I'm talking about that next week. Okay, like what was better?
Hang on.
It's what
Best live action stuff. Best live action stuff for Disney and Nickelodeon. They gotta go head to head. They gotta handle this in the ring and everything. That's next week. Okay, that's next week.
You guys, I'm never wrong about anything ever. But I tell you,
Wow.
I'm always right.
Wow, that was a statement.
Even when I don't need to be, even when I don't mean to be, I'm always right. It's just true.
Okay, Kanye.
All right, Kanye.
Damn, I'm a genius.
What?
I'm right.
All right, Kanye.
All right,
I'm a
Kanye.
genius.
Barry
Yeezy.
Barry
You're never wrong, Darius. You're never wrong.
I'm not.
Never wrong, sir. As far as Disney Gargoyles,
Compared
the
to
Hercules show, Aladdin show, Timon and Pumbaa.
Timon and
I remember
Pumbaa.
I'm trying to think. Oh, the Mighty Ducks cartoon. That one was pretty lit. Here comes the Mighty Ducks.
Well, the show's cancelled now, isn't it? They're not continuing it, are they?
Darkwing
Unfortunately,
They didn't show them the money.
Darkwing Duck was here.
show the. Oh yeah. Hey, I don't care what nobody said. I think Michael Jackson made that song, bro. Like something just tells me that he like the way the intro goes in or whatever. So
Where's my phone?
of course, oh yeah, Goof Troop, like that one was pretty deep, pretty good.
You guys remember Fish Hooks?
Yes, bro. I love fish hooks, dude. Oh my God.
I don't remember.
I never watched Fish Hooks.
That show was funny.
Oh, what was it called? It was something like Kick Butt, and this was
Oh,
kid
Kick
on, like,
Batowski.
Kick Butt. Yeah.
Kick Butowski.
Yeah,
That show was hilarious.
that was really funny.
Oh,
I remember always watching
Very
that before school.
I would
Yeah.
watch it in the morning.
It came out early in the morning. I remember that.
Yeah,
7 a.m.
and like Randy, what was it? The ninja guy?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Where he had like, it was like
Randy
Spider-Man. He was like a ninja. I remember
Yeah,
that.
I'm trying to think. Well, that sounds familiar. Hold on.
You looked it up. It's kind of
yeah, I was trying to say, I've sort of been quiet.
Randy Cunningham.
Oh,
Yeah,
I remember that.
Sorry, I haven't said as much the last half hour, boys. I'm just really fucking sleepy.
Oh, do you guys remember?
No, you good.
no,
Secret Saturdays?
Randy Cunningham, the ninth grade ninja.
yeah.
You guys remember
I
Secret
remember that.
Saturdays? It came out Boomerang, I think. That was
Oh
good
yeah, I
stuff.
remember that. Oh, Boomerang, legendary.
Oh yeah,
Boomerang had
Boomerang.
Boomerang. I remember.
Boomerang was the place where cartoons go to die, but like people still watch it to keep them alive.
Yeah,
like,
but
You know what? You want to know why you're not wrong? Because it had a great selection of cartoons, but they were all ones that were used by other networks that were basically like, yeah, we don't want these anymore. You can have them.
Tom and Jerry was always on that.
Yeah.
Tom and Jerry,
Tom and
like
Jerry, to this day, has one of the best
Wacky
cartoon
Races,
screens I have
like
ever
the
heard.
ra-
Wacky Races. Oh my.
Ah!
Dude, they even have the cheesy Super Friends on there every once in a while.
Oh,
That was a good show.
First,
What,
it was
Super
good.
Friends?
don't remind me of that. I didn't like it.
No, remember like
You didn't
random
like Super
Scooby-Doo-
Friends?
the Scooby Doos, where there would be like random celebrities, like them at the Globetrotters
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yes,
Scooby Doo
I remember
movies.
that,
Scooby Doo movies.
Yeah, it'd be like random actors and the Globetrotters and like random Batman and Robin sometimes even.
Yeah. Speaking of that, like Batman Brave and the Bold actually like redid that episode, which I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes.
But I'll talk about that next
Oh,
year.
it's so good. I'm so excited. to talk
Yeah.
about that.
I'll talk about that next week. I'll talk about it next
Oh
week.
yeah,
You know.
Next week.
Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to get little toys and stuff from that one. I did enjoy that one. Cartoon Network. would
Yeah.
always give giveaways.
Hang on, the last Batman the Brave and the Bold episode might be the best fourth wall break ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just saying, just saying.
I just watched it
You
today.
guys
I watched
remember
it today.
You guys remember the
I
other
need to
Batman
rewatch
show?
that series.
You remember the other Batman show they made? It was really short.
The
It was
one
like-
after that, yeah.
Yeah,
that one
yeah.
was-
You mean?
That shit was
Yeah.
ass.
Oh, you want the
That
one
was
with the
ass.
CGI?
Oh,
Shit
It
was
had
ass.
Professor. It
Oh.
had Professor Pig.
they
it had
did Professor
Pig in
Pig.
it. That's all I
Yeah, they
remember.
did Professor Pig.
Yeah.
That shit was ass.
They did Professor Pig, but it wasn't enough to say that.
We're trying to be Telltale.
Yeah.
That show was
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, I seen a little bit of it. I was like, nah, I ain't watching this.
The animation's awful.
You went from Brave and the Bold to that. You just no.
No,
Screwed it.
Danny, you talk about this. Remember SWAT Cats, dude? Whatever that show was called.
Yes. That whoever made that guitar solo, you are freaking
They
genius,
cooked
sir.
that.
Like
That
they
intro
cooked it,
scene.
man. That
I need this.
oh no. No. My favorite show that is so corny. It is so corny to this day. To this day. It's Captain Planet. That
Oh yeah.
it is corny, bro, but it is funny.
Imagine being the guy who got heart.
Dude,
You
where
got all
are
elements. You got heart, bro. You got
It's like, but no, actually, they actually did an episode on why his support. Like, actually, the kid with the heart.
See, Captain
Come back in.
Stream like that, fair enough.
Captain Planet
Nope.
is something that Ted and Mark Wahlberg's character in that movie Ted would watch.
It's like no, because the thing is, it's like Captain.
Duck
Like
Dodgers
the
was-
power of heart actually brings Captain Planet to life. So his power is just as important as everybody else's. Yes, Teen Titans season 6. Thank you.
Oh, how did we not talk about Ben 10? Ben 10.
We talked about it last week.
We talked about it last week.
Oh,
I thought we talked about all this last week.
No, remember Generator Rex? That one was underrated.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Generation
Question.
Generation
Who's your
X.
favorite Ben 10 like morph? Like who's your
Oh,
favorite
the
one?
alien?
Yeah.
I forget.
I need to look at a list. I remember some of them.
Hold on. I had a specific one that I really, really loved.
I remember
There was 3 that I freaking loved. I think
remember
Ghost
Diamond Head.
I didn't
Diamond Head.
really care for Ben 10. Yeah.
Shocking
The,
behavior, Danny.
the
Shocking
fire
behavior.
one was cool.
Oh, hang on. I
That
got a
was
list.
my favorite one.
I don't know if any of you guys remember these ones.
No, what was the fast one? Turbo, right?
I think I remember this one vaguely. Oh, there's Tony Soprano down in the corner.
Hey.
No,
We
Alien.
got
I remember Alien X too. The really
Fritz
powerful
Walker.
one.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Humongous
like this
was
guy.
cool.
He
That one was cool. That was really cool. It's like me on a Monday morning.
This
that
one
was
too.
a good one. Swamp Fire was
yeah,
pretty
Swamp
cool.
Fire
was cool.
Alien Force. I remember
There
that
was
one.
one Pacific one that I really, really liked.
Pacific or specific?
Pacific.
No, Diamond
Hey,
Head. That was
but-
my guy right there.
Hey, Diamond Head was the shit.
I don't mean to interrupt on this part of the conversation, but
No, he-
can
no,
we
he's
just say
a
one?
god.
Can we say
Wait,
one thing
What's
that
your
is?
favorite one? The fire one.
Yes.
Heat something.
Heat Blast, I think.
Yeah.
Can we say one thing real quick? Like,
No.
do you believe Danny Phantom and Fairly Odd Parents should have done an actual crossover? I feel like I know they did like a small cameo thing, but like I think they need the whole entire episode. What do you guys
Should have
think?
done,
Blast.
should have
Heat
done
Blast was
Danny
my
Phantom,
favorite.
Jimmy Neutron, and Fairly Odd Parents all at the same time.
I might.
Dun, 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 dun. Timmy is an average kid. And
I mean, I really stand by what I said that Ben 10, like when they did Alien Force, I was like, could you do better than the original show? Oh, they did.
Alien
I
Force
freaking
is the
love
best one.
Alien Force.
Alien Force is the best
Oh.
one. Ultimate Alien
And
is
again,
good.
I know everyone's gonna say you like the edgy character. Kevin Levin's badass. I'm sorry, he's a G. Like the guy's got a car,
The
he
edge.
can
the
absorb power.
edginess.
Cool, sick.
Bill Gax is the best villain too.
I mean, Kevin was a shit. I mean,
He's
I
that dude. I'm sorry.
was
Like
that
it's not that
dude.
it's not that he's edgy or anything like that. It's Ben's a little punk and Kevin's a G. Like there's a difference. Like,
Now hold on now. Wait. Hold on.
We're not gonna disrespect
You
Ben.
can't
Hold
disrespect
on.
Ben like that.
Hold
Hold
on.
on. What the hell?
I don't give it. I'm just stating the truth. Like Ben's cool,
That's
but
true.
Kevin's that
Ben
dude.
Tennis. That's
Ben,
Ben,
ben ain't no punk now. Hold on.
I'm just setting the foundation before I get dubbed edgy again.
Foundation.
I mean, it's already been made.
Ben is the
Yeah.
foundation. So
Yeah,
it's called
whoa,
Ben-
yeah,
so it's called
whoa.
Ben
Howdy, partner.
Yeah.
Other nights.
Oh man.
Wait, yeah.
We're here.
We're here.
You know what deserves its own regular show deserves its own topic. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll put that on next week.
It's been so long since I've watched that.
No, I'll put
Such a
that.
good
I'll put that on for you next week, Darius. We'll talk about that, like a rewatch show. I'm calling it King's Rewatch. Yes, a rewatchable show. Like, we'll talk about that. So now, like the fun part, chat. It is your time. It is your time within reason.
Yes, within
Questions?
reason. That's always important.
Questions.
Got any questions? Ask them now.
Get those
Within
questions.
reason.
Ask us anything within reason.
I can't promise I'll answer.
Not anything.
Anything. Yes, anything. Anything. I'll get you. And it'll look like a bloody accident. Good old Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, I bet say, is that Cat in the Hat reference?
Yeah,
Ever
legendary
since that's
legendary
my
film.
life.
We should watch that movie on
Aren't you
stream.
scared of that movie, TC again?
Yes.
We should
Oh,
watch
there
it.
you go.
Really?
There you go. Certain
Yes.
person could be fighting. I'm joking.
It's pretty
Scary.
messed up.
Predictions for Stranger Things season 5. This is for you
Oh, yeah.
guys. I didn't watch Stranger Things. Yeah.
Eddie
Oh, no.
comes back.
No one will die because the Duffers don't kill characters.
There's
Because
a
they're-
bear.
No,
It's because
but they do kill characters. They kill
pussies.
ones that they introduce for one season and kill them off. They don't kill anyone else though.
All right, I'm gonna be like the simple answer. Everybody's gonna survive, and
Everybody dies. Everybody survives.
everybody survives.
If he dies, he dies.
It dies.
Oh, Forever Red's got a great. Yeah, I remember Forever Red. We
Oh,
gave
yeah.
you like a lot of that
Oh, yeah,
feedback.
that's
How's
fine.
that going, by the way? A week from the last time that you.
No
brought it
problem,
up.
man.
How's it-
Anytime.
What's your progress like thus far? Is anything happened? Any changes? Anything that you want to ask us more on? Because it is kind of in our wheelhouse.
And I will say, man, hit me up on IG because like I like to help out like filmmakers and stuff like that. So.
Never give up, Forever Red, no matter what. That's my best advice to you. Yeah.
Don't ever give up, no matter what happens. John,
Don't
his
ever
name
give
is John Cena. Sorry, just felt like a great opportunity. You remember those like phone calls that people used to do? They would call in with.
And the same as John's.
But yeah, if if anyone does die, my bet is on Steve, Jonathan.
They're not gonna kill Steve.
They're not gonna kill him off.
But they're not.
I don't know, man.
You know who they'll kill off? They'll kill off Snap,
Wow.
whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they might kill him after what he did. So yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Well, actually, they
Moving
can't
on.
kill him because he's a you know what character, and they can't do that.
Oh yeah, you're right.
No, we can kill him off. He's been
They
rocking the
should
same.
kill
He's
him
been
off. He
rocking.
didn't do shit. He has
been
not
rocking-
done shit since season 2.
He's been rocking the same haircut since season 1. Right? This man,
It's not done shit since season.
I love.
He
Like I
has-
like Stranger Things, but my problem is like
All
characters.
he's done is
like,
cause problems. I'm sorry. Like,
certain
that's all
characters
he's
don't
done.
do anything. Like what is one? Like what is
No, this-
Will?
I said this.
contribute to the story.
I said this a while ago. The thing that Stranger Things that we like, we like it for the plot. The characters are a bit lacking in the story. Like
Yeah, like what is?
Just
Eddie
give me
was-
the
Eddie
adults,
was a
man.
breath
Just
of
give me-
fresh
just
air.
Give me the adults and the older teens.
In
Yeah,
my
literally.
opinion, they should have killed her off in season 4.
Man,
Thank you.
The
I
only,
agree.
the only great teen
Oh my
characters
God.
are 11 and Max. That's it. Those are the only great teen characters anymore.
Yeah, but
11 and
Max should be dead.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
lost
okay,
They
Eddie.
killed her 4
I think
times
the
last
best-
I'm
season.
sorry.
The
I hate this notion that Eddie dies and Max lives. I hate it. I don't like it.
Especially when they kept
Eddie
teasing
was the
that match.
best character of the season.
No, here's another thing. I'm sure TPK would agree. I think the best characters
Sorry,
Hopper.
No, he is. You're
I
right,
know
Adelaide. He is a plot
the
device.
best characters. I'm sure Noah agrees.
This is funny.
Hopper and Joyce are the best characters.
Yes,
This
I
is
only care
funny
about the
to me.
adults. And Murray, the goat.
The GOAT. That's why he's the MVP, and that's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
Personally, you create a Pandora's box of problems when you kill off Eddie, but you don't kill off Max. There's a problem there.
I feel
And-
like Eddie's death was so unnecessary.
And you know what? Anyone else that tells me, oh, well, the real world doesn't accept him, motherfucker, the Upside Down has just blended with the real world.
The Upside
Such a
Down.
stupid argument.
Make it
Because-
all together now.
Do you know what it is, right? I link it back to when redemption characters are killed off. It's lazy writing. It's lazy.
07 all over again.
Hey, let's be
It's
real.
the
Those
easiest way out of it. It's like instead of letting Eddie face those consequences and seeing what the journey could unfold, can he prove his
How
innocence?
can we ruin Jacob's childhood even more?
Strange
Those,
thing, it wasn't my child.
those last two
but-
episodes sucked.
I'm sorry. It's such a bullshit take. It's such a
First half was
stupid
way better than
opinion.
the second half.
It could have been
It's
better, but I wouldn't say they sucked.
But everyone will think Eddie's the real villain. Blah blah blah. It's like,
Like, Noah's just like, let's be
Yeah.
real. Those last two episodes sucked.
Like, come on, nothing happened.
Come on.
The finale was like 2 hours and nothing fucking happened.
Yeah, I don't like.
And then they killed her. They killed off Vecna so easily.
Yeah, that was.
That
They
made
just
no
threw
sense.
fire at him. Are you
I have
kidding?
no,
that goes to-
I have no fight in this
It's
fight.
just
I
that.
forgot about- It's all coming
It's
back to
not
me now.
just
Stupid
a
that.
ass.
saggy
Wait.
testicle tree.
Oh,
It's all coming
Lord,
back
this
to
is
me
freaking
how
hilarious.
stupid it was. Where 11 was like, no, and he just saves Max.
That, I was just want to talk about that.
No,
I was just want to talk about that.
What the fuck?
Like,
no. Oh my
It was
god.
so lazy.
Wait,
It
also,
was so lazy.
I'm so glad you mentioned CKW. I'm so glad you mentioned that. Why did Jonathan, Nancy, and Steve? We're still
put
doing
all
this
of them
now.
in there.
We're still doing this now. Like,
And what was the point in Jonathan at all this season?
He didn't
Jonathan-
shit. None of those California motherfuckers can do anything.
like a moron.
Yeah, and also I gotta say, what's the with Mike just being dumb now? He just acts
All
like
of those California. No, they ruined Jonathan. I love Jonathan before the season.
He was good in
Jonathan,
the first,
Joe,
and
Jonathan
then they-
season 1 and 2, Jonathan was.
It felt like
fire. He was
after
fire.
season 2, they didn't know what to do with him, so they were just like, "Okay, we're here now."
You want to know what you want to know the reason? It's because Steve was never supposed to survive. So when they made the choice to bring Steve back, they were like, "We have to give." They gave all Jonathan stuff to Steve. You can tell. You can tell they did that.
I don't like the. It like it's a good show, okay.
First
It's
half,
still a
It's a good show.
first half season
But
4
the
was
thing
great.
is, the way I see it, for me,
You're really
it's one of,
It's one
it's one of them shows which I think season 1 you could make a case should have been the only season
it was supposed to be an anthology. It's supposed to be a different thing every season.
because now they
Yeah, it was
clearly
supposed to be that.
extended it, and then here's the problem. Here's the reason why it grinds my bollocks up the wall. Right in season 3, you have Billy who's killed, Hopper who's killed, and then in season 4, Eddie who's killed, Max who's killed-ish. I'm like, there's a problem. here.
Paralyzed and blind. Why is she not
Like,
dead?
you're killing someone, but then you're not killing someone. Like,
she's
that's a
paralyzed and
problem.
blind.
Also,
like,
can we
at this point,
acknowledge
you may as well kill Max.
the upside down lore makes no sense. How is
Yeah.
Vecna in charge of the mind flayer? It doesn't make
They
any
just
sense at
make
all.
shit
Yeah,
up
that's
as
a
they go.
big retcon.
You can tell that they kind of like made that up as. You can tell that Vecna was not planned from the start.
Yeah.
Because the mind flayer talks in season 3, and it's like, wait, that's not Vecna. That's even
RJ,
taller
do
than
you
Vecna.
remember because me and RJ and I think Evan watched
Wait, they killed
season
Bob.
4 together. Do
Yeah,
you
we did.
remember?
Finale
Do
with
you
you guys.
remember the scene where it's first with what was the Vecna's real name? Henry, and he kept coming back and saying like, "Oh, "Wake up, sleepyhead."
That
That shit was so annoying.
it was. No, because we
I felt like I was on
me and
drugs
TCK
watching that
were
scene.
watching it, right? And we were like, bro, can he stop saying this shit?
Yeah,
Like,
like,
it was so
Yo,
annoying.
pal,
Okay,
I'm freaking
you
out.
know who else
I'm
was a
not
good
even gonna say.
character? Brenner. Brenner was a good character. Papa, he was a good
Until they
character.
brought him back
He was,
out of
but they
nowhere.
shouldn't have brought him back because it makes no sense how he should.
Oh, he
Yeah.
was a prick.
Yeah, he
How
got
did
he got
survive
shot.
that? There's no way
He
he
got-
survived that.
And they tried to redeem. I don't even know what they were trying to do with him.
I'm still asking.
TCK wasn't. Remember we were watching it, and I'm like, dude, what are they doing? Can this guy just die already? Like,
What are we doing?
He died.
die, bro.
I just
The
hate the
show is-
fact, right? It creates a double standard, right? When you kill off a character and don't kill off the other character.
And it's like, it's not that I don't like Max. I love Max last season.
I got nothing wrong with her, like,
she just
either-
should've died.
This is probably the best kid, but she should have died.
She is.
She was
And the
she had
thing
the
is-
best arc and performance. Like Sadie
I
killed it last.
know
She's the
that
best
in-
actress too. Best
You
actor out of the
you
kids.
couldn't make a case for her surviving because her character had the best arc of it, but I think it's so much more emotional payoff that she goes and it makes it fucking personal.
Also,
you just
this-
killed one of the kids.
Can we give Lucas an
Exactly.
arc? Can we give Lucas an arc,
Have some
please?
balls,
Lucas,
grow some fucking
Lucas
balls.
do something.
No, hold on. Me and
Can Lucas
TC
do
bro,
something?
TCK, remember you said we were watching, you were like, whose side is he on?
I feel like Walter White, where he's like, just throw some fucking balls, you know. And also, I just want to say, what's that varsity player's name? What's that little bitch ass's name?
Jason.
Mason, yeah,
I'll
that
tell you
guy.
what, if Billy answered the door to him, oh, that man would be wrecked a new one. I'm sorry. This is one thing that Hollywood's got to stop doing, and it's really annoying me. Stop convincing me that these Vanilla Ice pretty boys are bullies.
Yeah, they gotta stop doing that.
Stop doing that.
That trope is
Jason,
so
Jason
overdone
is
now.
not intimidating.
That
at
trope
all.
is so overdone.
Billy, I buy that. That dude's intimidating as hell.
Well,
No.
even
'cause
Steve,
Billy-
even Steve.
Because
is more
Billy was
intimidating.
a racist piece of shit. Like
Yeah,
that.
he
Yeah.
was.
Frick.
He was a prick, but I don't think he should have died.
No.
Jason,
I
yeah,
think it would have made for a great redemption arc.
Jason, I think is actually a decent character. I give
I
Jason
agree.
some.
You
He's a
remember
good
the scene
character.
where he yelled in the woods? Like, I was like, damn, this guy
Yeah,
is a good actor.
I think that here's the thing. I think that this is the problem that I've always had with like
Danny,
viewers
put
of
it on the
shows
list.
and films. When
I'm not putting on the
don't
list.
look at the perspective of
Stranger
the
Things,
character.
anything.
I'm not saying what Jason was doing.
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
But with
But
the
you have to
information
look
he
at it-
had,
you have to look at it from what
the information. Yeah,
Yeah, he had no
Alright.
like, he's thinking like this is some crazy shit. You guys are crazy. Like,
Sorry, Eddie is one of the best characters in that I've
not
seen.
defending him, by the way. I'm just
I
saying.
actually like the thing with Jason because that was like a real thing in the 80s where these people
Yeah,
thought these
Satanic
Dungeons and
Panic.
Dragons kids
Yeah,
were like,
yeah, exactly.
So it added some like realism, if you want to say
Yeah.
that, to the show.
to the time period.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it made sense.
It makes sense. I mean, at least despite our grievances with season 4, at least it moved away from the I dump your ass.
Yeah, I didn't like.
No,
I didn't
first of
like
all,
season
I just
three.
gotta say, I really liked the first half of season 4. The second half, I think, is awful. Those last two
See,
episodes,
dear,
so
dear
bad.
Billy with the letter.
Dear
to
Billy
Oh,
Billy.
that episode was
That's
beautiful.
that episode was
Yeah.
Fucking love it.
and the last episode 7 was it? The one before
Yeah.
the break,
And-
incredible.
And the one shot where they're in California with the
Yes,
gun,
that was
the gunfight, dude.
That was it.
Right. I also want to just bring it back to Eddie for a second. Don't you feel like his death was a shoehorn?
Yeah, they had to kill. They had to kill him.
Yeah.
Like, it's
It
not like
didn't
he's
need to be
defending
there.
the portal.
Don't worry,
It-
they're
he-
bringing him back. I know they are.
He doesn't have to stand there. Why are you writing it this way?
You know what it felt like? They did it for Dustin's character because they ran out of stuff to do for Dustin's character.
Sorry, this is one
You have to,
time.
like-
I've never been a bigger advocate for it for now, other than probably Ben Solo. You better bring him back. I don't like that. It was a complete waste
But
of a
like, my
character.
thing is, how would they bring him back though? Like, what would they do?
I don't care. Find some sensational magic and bring him back. If
Like
Max is
some sensational magic.
if Max is still around, I want Eddie back. I'm
I
sorry.
disagree. They can't keep bringing back these motherfuckers.
But the thing is, you set a bad precedent when you kill off Billy.
It just comes out of nowhere. They can't be bringing these motherfuckers back, man. I just
Here's the problem that I have. When you kill
I'm
off
sick of it.
Billy,
Nobody stays dead.
when you kill off Billy and you leave Hopper alive, when you don't kill off Max and you kill off Eddie, you're setting a bad.
Also,
you're doing it wrong.
Side note: Nancy, another character I actually like. Nancy's cool. Actually,
Nancy's
like
cool.
I don't know why people hate Nancy for some reason. I don't get it.
We all know why they. hate
Nancy,
him.
Nancy.
No.
Yeah, she's
We
alright.
all know why.
We know why. Actually, we do know why. Never mind.
Why?
We know why. Come on.
But yeah,
Oh, right, because they had a Nancy in their life.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
Can
but
Jonathan, Mike, and Lucas do something next season, please?
The
all the
Cal- I don't
California
know. Okay,
people
here's the
can
thing.
go.
The
I'm
first
sick of
two
them.
seasons, Mike was the heart of the show, and then they just went away from that. Like the last two seasons, he literally was.
I'm sick
He
of the
kind of
California
becomes
game.
a doormat in like season 4.
You said what?
He becomes a doormat. Like he just kind of
No,
just there.
Also, here's
he just
another
always
thing.
whine. He just whines.
He's
and
taking
complains all the
lessons
time.
out of Jonathan's book. That's what it is.
You also another thing is like Mike when he goes to California to visit Elle and everybody.
From Mike.
That scene was so hilarious. I don't know why, but
That scene was funny, bro. I was laughing.
the thing was with Mike is that he's so like dumb. He can because the thing about in season 1 and 2, No, he is. No,
You just said that. He's so
in
dumb.
season one. In season 1 and 2, he can pick up on stuff that's wrong, and he can't even figure out that 11's lying. Like, and he can like it's capping. Like, come on, you know damn well that 11's not making any friends at this school. Get your head out of the gutter. Stop it. Stop
Yeah.
it.
Also,
You know damn well.
like he would have fought the bullies. Like he just kind of lets it happen.
Yeah. What the
Yeah, and then Will got mad for no reason.
Yeah,
What you get mad for?
Thing
You
with
didn't
Will
say shit.
getting
You weren't saying anything.
Oh, I had a big problem. No, Will. No, because remember we were watching. No,
Will-
she's
Will-
a kid.
no.
Remember that first scene where she tries to do the thing and she gets like.
Ah!
That was Will.
And Will doesn't do a damn thing. He just stands there looking like an idiot, bro.
Bro,
No,
he
no,
walks
I-
in.
no, but-
He
no, but
walks out the door.
guys, you can't criticize him though.
I don't give a shit.
He doesn't do anything.
You can't
I
criticize
don't
him.
give a
Though.
damn.
Oh yes, we fucking can.
No, and then at the roller rink, Will and Mike just stand there and like, what are you doing?
Like, do something. Like, she just got picked. Like, bro, Mike should have like went over
I
there.
found that kind of funny personally.
No. I'm sorry. I'm not chasing after 11 if something happened. Like, no, I'm going after the bullies and I'm beating their
Like,
ass.
dude,
Like,
that is your
Yeah.
girlfriend, and like that's Will. That's your sister. Like, do something.
they don't do
Why
shit,
didn't
bro.
Why
They
didn't
don't do
Will say
anything. They
anything
don't
to
fucking
Mike?
do nothing over there.
Why didn't Will say anything to Mike? That asshole. I'm sorry. He's an asshole. Will.
Because all of a sudden, 4 seasons in, he's like, I need a character arc.
No,
outside
I'm
of
sorry.
being
No,
possessed."
I didn't like Jonathan the scene where they're driving back and him and Argyle are high. That is fun. That is
That
fun.
is
That
funny.
was fun.
That's
And that dinner scene with Murray, that was hilarious.
Yeah,
I
that
gotta
was fun.
say, like, the reason Will doesn't say anything is because he realized 4 seasons in, outside of being possessed, he needs a character arc.
But also,
I'm
like,
sorry. Will's only job after season 1 and 2 is just to do this with the back of his neck and just look at the sky. That's all he does.
Post-credit scene stinger.
He's still alive. Like, obviously.
also, like,
Kill
I don't want
characters.
Argyle to come. Do y'all want Argyle to come? I don't want.
No.
Why was he there? Why did he
wasn't
go
even
there?
funny. He wasn't even funny.
Why did he go there?
He had 2 funny moments: the car ride back, and then like when he was driving to the house, and then the,
They were
the
they
guns.
shoot
the
out.
guns-
Oh my
God.
god! Like,
That
oh
was the
my
worst-
God, they're shooting
The
him.
worst scene ever was at
Hold on,
Dustin's
Betty.
girlfriend's house.
Oh my god!
That was like a 80s cartoon. fucking
No, bro,
nonsense.
no. Remember we were watching it, and I'm like, I swear, this is her house, man. I'm like, oh god, they're here. No.
Oh yeah, the
The
Mormons.
reason that Billy's dead.
The Mormons with like the 20 kids.
Like, no,
This is
I
not-
also hate that. In season 3, she's like, Dustin's trying to save the world, and she's like,
I
you have to
hate
sing
that
it.
so much.
Get that shit
I
out
don't-
of here, bro.
I don't like it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't like it. I don't
I'll
care
take
what
the-
these weird
Does
social media stands say of like, oh, it's sweet. People are
I like-
dying.
I like Dustin, but they kind of overdo it with him a little bit. Like he gets a little too much. To
I'm
do.
sorry.
You have to
People are
understand
dying
something.
out here,
It
and you've
becomes
got to
way
like,
too
let's have a
comical.
sing song. Shut up.
Like,
He's
can we
just
give some of
saying-
Dustin's screen time to Mike or Lucas, please? Can we give the
Like-
other
like
kids?
Dustin
And
and Eddie
give it to
connection.
Lucas. I really don't care about Mike anymore.
Yeah,
To be
Lucas
honest,
still has that-
this is the
Lucas some
problem. This
shine,
is
bro.
another reason why Eddie shouldn't have been killed off. I cared more about Eddie in 1 season than most of the team characters in 2.
I agree.
Yeah.
Hey, Jacob, don't worry. They're bringing him back. I can guarantee you.
This is the
Another
thing.
I don't
one
like
drug
it.
war.
I don't like it. But they're scaredy cats enough for brothers.
Oh.
Yeah, they are.
If you're gonna kill him, keep him dead. But then at the same time, you shouldn't have killed him in the first place.
Not kill Max.
I just want a good ending.
It's too late
And
now.
it's not like I hate Max. I don't. But just like they killed her 4 different times and she didn't die any of them.
Now, don't get me wrong. Is there something strong in Max surviving the whole thing and not dying? Of course, because you lead people to think, "Oh my God, she's gonna die."
You have to kill. You have to kill somebody.
Because then you could argue that Billy's sacrifice was for nothing if Max dies. Like you could make that case, but in the
Don't ever
context
die 4 times.
of this season, don't fake it out. Like that performance by Caleb was amazing. Imagine
Yeah.
if he actually died. The
When he
amount of
picked- when
weight.
he finally picked the side, yeah.
Have some balls.
They have to
I'm
kill
sorry, when
somebody. Because
TCK
I had a debate with
said that at me.
my friend. Was like, "Wait, nobody has to die. Like somebody has to die for this to matter."
Someone has
dude."
to go. Like this is one of them things where it's like, okay, you don't kill characters carelessly, but it furthers the story and you make it personal. And it would have been a great setup.
And they teased Steve's death too when he jumped in the hole and he got jumped by the bats.
Yeah,
Like,
I
like,
really
oh,
think.
that was
I
a
know
good
they
tease.
won't do it. I think they should
dig
kill him.
it. I really like that. That was intense.
That
I
was
think they
crazy
should
scene.
kill him because all they're going to do now is create like a love triangle between him and Thingy again. And I'm
It's
just
the
like,
last season. We don't got
Hey,
time
Been
you
for
know
over
what?
that. That was
You know what?
resolved in season 2.
No. Nancy should end up with Steve. I'm sorry.
I agree. Actually, to be fair, Steve's had a character arc.
Jonathan.
Care less.
No,
It's the last season. We don't have time for this.
Yeah,
shit.
but
No,
we say
hear me
that.
out.
But last season was intense, and they still had time to go.
No, hear me out. I think where was Jonathan the whole season? He was scared. He had every opportunity to go see Nancy, but he was scared.
Because the writers
You know
ruined his
what?
character. I don't know.
I feel like the writers called him up and said, "What smoking dope and eating Cheetos and masturbating all day do not constitute as plans." in life."
This is my book.
Wait a minute. And you know what Jonathan said when he got back? He said he was dissing Steve.
Man, this
remember
mother.
that?
I'm sorry,
What did he
Steve.
say? What did he
work, man. Steve,
I
say?
forgot, but do you remember at the end when Nancy and Jonathan met up and Nancy said like Steve's actually matured a lot. I forgot what Jonathan said before, but he was dissing Steve, and Nancy had to say he actually matured a lot. So he doesn't show up the whole season to see Nancy,
and then comes in and then starts talking shop.
Yeah,
Well,
and
to be
Steve
fair,
was
I don't
work
blame him
this
for
season.
talking crap to Steve after everything that Steve did and said. Like, come on, it was messed up.
But
When he
grow
was-
some balls.
Steve was doing shit this season.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying you can't expect Jonathan to just be like buddy or like friends with him.
It was
No.
like 2 seasons ago. Let it go.
yeah, okay.
Jesus.
I mean, to be
I-
fair, he
I-
basically implied that
Hey.
he killed his brother. I would have let that go either. I would have let that
Yeah,
go.
like
He
he
basically
talked
said
about
it's
he
good-
talked about
it's
his
your fault
brother
your
who
brother's
thought he was
missing.
dead. Like, all right, I can't let that shit go.
I would let that
Maybe,
go either. To be fair,
But I like Steve.
He
so.
talked about his mom and shit. Like, I can't.
I hate these.
Okay, but he redeemed.
No, for sure. I'm just saying you.
Oh,
can't
he
expect
redeemed him then
Jonathan-
some. He's the
you
reason
can't
why
expect
half of them are
Jonathan to
still
just be like cool
Bro,
with him and stuff.
This man's playing babysitter to all the teenagers. I think he's more than earned his keep. Like Steve, in my eyes, he's earned his place.
In
We're
my
not-
eyes-
why- this-
in
we're not
my eyes, he should
disagreeing
be
with
with
that.
Nancy.
I agree. Jonathan,
Oh, yeah,
however,
Steve-
is just a doormat.
We're not.
I get
saying,
why Jonathan-
We're not saying
I get
that
why
Steve
Jonathan
has it.
doesn't
We're
like
just saying that
Steve.
you can't expect Jonathan to just be buddy. Like,
I couldn't
Nah,
give a
but, like,
flop. There's much
gotta
more
find what
important
he
character
said.
arcs happening
I
at the
gotta
minute. I
find what
couldn't
he
give a
said
shit.
'cause it pissed me off. I remember because he doesn't do shit. He's smoking dope all season, and then he comes back and is like, "Steve's a little baby."
I don't know why the writers.
Steve
did
is the
that.
one that went through. I want to see you go through the hole. The fuck are you gonna do?
what is this thing against Jonathan?
I'm sorry. What's Jonathan
Damn.
gonna do? No, when Steve goes through the hole, he straps up with his freaking Lucille in hand. If Jonathan goes through the hole, what's he gonna go? Hey, Vecna, you want to smoke a doobie?
I mean, we're gonna act like Jonathan wasn't a good character before they ruined him this
Like,
season.
this
Like,
is my issue with it.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, I know he was a good character, but now he's not. Like, I don't know what the hell they've done to him. He's just there.
No,
It's like-
all I'm
no,
saying,
it's like-
all I'm
It's like his character.
Oh, this is what he said. Look
Hold
at
on.
this. Look at this.
No, it's like
Let me
Mike.
watch
was like,
this.
let me follow up with the character arc. Like,
wait. What did he? I didn't.
oh, he said who would have been in charge? Steve.
And he said, like, Steve. Shut
Like,
your
and
bitch
this
ass up,
is
John. You
about
haven't done
how-
anything.
Why y'all getting so mad, bro?
This is
Like,
from-
damn.
this is from a writing standpoint.
Because Steve,
Why-
Steve was
why have
fighting
you
the
taken this
basketball
character?
teams and shit. And he, like,
Why? Hold on. Shut up. Why have you taken this character that was clearly one of the best things about the first season and done nothing with it? He's just there now. It's like his character arc's finished.
I told you why, because they gave his character arc to Steve, bro. I told you why.
Well,
That's why
here's
they
the
did.
thing, though.
They did.
If we're gonna be honest,
you have
though,
to
all
tell
the
me
kids,
that he's
all the
bringing
kids
back.
really don't. All the kids are really the same after, especially like
You have to really sell me that he's swinging a bat. I'm
like
you
all of
have to
his
really sell me
like
that.
all of the characters really haven't changed except for like
Steve.
I'd say the only
well,
one that
he's
had a
still
glow
no,
up was
ever
you.
since season 2, he's still the same. He's just a babysitter.
Like out of all the kid characters, like Lucas, Dustin, and Max, they're my three. The other
Wait a
ones,
minute.
I
Wait a minute. Hang on. You're gonna say after season 4, he's still just a babysitter? After he went down
because
in that,
this is my problem.
Yo, this
in
man
that
had
show,
one of the best kills in the whole show. He was like,
This is my
He did that in season 1. He fought the Demogorgon in season 1. It's the same thing, just on a bigger scale.
No, this is my whole problem. It's not just a Steve thing. This is my whole problem with the whole like characters. Is that it's
just the way you made your hand like.
Shut the hell up. It's carried by the plot, not the characters. The characters are just, they don't develop enough. That's my issue with some of the characters on the show. It's
That's
not just
why they should
Steve.
kill some off.
What?
That's why they should kill some off.
Well,
And they kill off the wrong ones.
What the hell is wrong with you? It's just, what is this whole Jonathan and Steve thing? You guys sound like a bunch of like fucking...
Because it's annoying. It's
No,
like
I think it is.
Team-
No, I think
Hey,
it is a
Darius,
valid
everybody, the
debate
Twilight
because-
guys. Team Steve.
I think it's
No,
a
no,
valid.
I think
No,
that is a
don't
valid
put me in that category. No, don't ever put me in that
That's what it
category.
sounds like.
No, it's just that
I'm an actor who actually acts in films and stuff, and I look at storylines and
What
characters
does
the
that
same
have
way.
to do with
The same way you're a script writer and you look at it from a story perspective. I'm not looking at it from a Team Steve or Team Jonathan.
Bro, all we said was that Jonathan
I'm
has.
looking-
all we
He's
said is Jonathan has
mundane. He does nothing. They do nothing with him.
that's true, but he has a legit reason to dislike Steve. That's all
That's
we
all
said.
we're saying.
But I don't care about that 4 seasons into the show. What are we doing
Well, he
with him
does.
now?
Well, he does. I'm not able to tell you.
And that's his character arc in season 4.
yeah, and that's why he shouldn't be. That's why he shouldn't be there with Nancy.
Thank you.
That's
It's
why he shouldn't be with
poor.
Nancy.
Yo.
Why are y'all making it about like he shouldn't be with Nancy?
What does that have to do with Nancy?
Bro,
cares
it's
about
not.
that?
I don't care about that. I'm just
You
talking
know,
about the
relationship
I don't care about that. I'm just
invested
talking about the
in, like,
character.
Joyce and
because you're
Hopper.
making because I'm not making like I ship them. It's because who actually works. It's who actually.
That's your projection. That's not what Noah's saying.
It's who actually. I think because I still do care about the relationships in the show and who actually works good together. And I think Steve, he had his whole future set out with Nancy. He talked to Nancy about that, about having a bunch of kids. And Jonathan was scared to see her because they were going to different colleges.
But guess what? That wouldn't have happened if Steve didn't fuck up.
What?
Season 1. We're in
But
season
it's
4.
true though.
Bro,
Yeah, but that's why he's
it still
redeemed.
happened.
He's
It doesn't matter.
redeemed.
For sure.
He's
I
had his
agree with
storyline.
you.
He's
Vegan
had
crap
his
is this.
character arc. He's had a character arc to redeem.
He's had
No one's
one of the
denying
best
that he didn't
arcs of the
redeem.
show.
No one's denying that.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think it's more
as
interesting
a
that he had to
character,
fuck up.
like he's
And
way
I think
more evolved.
I think it makes it more earned that he ends up with Nancy because he fucked up in the
No,
beginning.
Well,
he's
like I
totally
said,
totally.
I don't really care if he ends up with Nancy or not. I'm
arguing that.
saying is like I don't.
I'm
I
not
don't
making
care.
like
Like,
a
I
ship
could care
thing.
less. I'm not the
It's too
only.
early for this shit.
The only relationship that I care about on the show
4
is
a.m.
Hopper and Joyce. That's it. Like that's the only one that I really care about. What the
Oh,
fuck
Darius-
happened to Darius? Wait, where did
He's not on my head out.
he just?
No, I'm just not making a ship thing. I just it's like I'm just talking about the couples on the show and who
Where
I
it's
think
getting
they
lost in translation is I'm seeing both points of view here and I'm trying to like play the middle, but because words are going over each other, we're all kind of like, oh, why are you saying this?
No,
Why
I
are you saying
understand what he's saying.
but it's just like I personally don't care about the Nancy. But as a character,
He should have ended that like a long time ago.
way more evolved than John. Way more.
No, for sure.
And it's a writing problem that I have, which is why I brought up the actor writer thing. Is as a writer, what are they doing with this character? They haven't done anything with him. He just stands there.
All I'm saying is, to me, outside of Hopper and Joyce, they haven't really done anything much with any of the characters. That's just my opinion. Like they
That
don't.
is true. And
They
that's why
tried to do something
it
with
annoys me
Lucas
more that
about
they
the whole
kill all the
side.
people.
Which side are you on? Like they tried to do something with that. And
That's why, like, per what we were saying, it's why it's equally as annoying where they kill characters like Eddie off, who are arguably way more interesting than anyone else on the show.
but that's why I say, like, to me,
Fuck. We're just passionate people. We're all still friends. We're just
The
passionate.
show is just heavily carried by the plot, not the characters at all.
Yep.
Like the
It's not
characters.
Remember.
No, okay, here's the thing. I think the characters are likable, not interesting.
It's not a character-driven series.
Mhm.
You like the characters, but they're not very interesting.
In season 1, they were. After that,
Yeah, they used to be interesting. Even a little bit of
Yeah.
season 2, they were interesting.
I
But
love the dynamic of like the group in season 1. It was great.
Yeah.
Like we
But I
like
think
we
what
like,
it
we like them
clicked
all
was-
as people.
Like
They're all
that
likable.
first scene between Will, Lucas, Dustin, and Mike, like that scene of the four of them, that was great. Like that
It's
was
like-
awesome.
I
It's
feel
like
like that's
it-
what the show has kind of missed throughout as the seasons go on. They've
because
missed
every time we
just
get
the
glimpses-
little
Everybody
moments between
split
the
up.
characters.
Everyone
You
split
know
up
what-
all the time.
You know what
That's pretty much-
You know what Jonathan's one good scene is in the entire season 4 is when he's talking to Will. That's the only good scene he has.
Good
That's it.
scene.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, the thing about like characters and shows, little moments like the very first scene in the show with all four, like the
They
kids,
go a long way.
it goes a long way. You can't just keep doing like, okay, what are we doing now? What about Demogorgon? Like, you
As
can't
I
keep
said,
doing
it's
that
like
every
it's
scene.
literally it adds so much, but a simple 2-minute scene of them sitting down and playing a board game together does so much.
A lot of movies and shows make that mistake, whereas like
Yep.
every time everything the characters talk about is just the plot, nothing else, just what's
Yeah.
happening with the plot. Like,
Oh, Vecna this, Vecna that. Fuck
They're-
that overgrown testicle for 5
they
seconds.
have, they have
Right.
vibe
Like,
outside
forget
of the plot.
that wrinkly, saggy ass tree looking piece of shit. Right? Forget him. What about you guys? Hi, RJ. How are you? You know,
I'm cuddling with my girlfriend.
What?
No, hey, I'll tell you. I will tell you offline. We'll tell you
Inside joke.
offline. It's a funny. We'll tell you offline. We'll tell you offline.
Inside joke.
but it's kind of fun. I actually, just on a side note,
That was a
on
perfect
the,
opportunity.
on the topic of Jonathan, right, and us talking about how characters aren't utilized and they're wasted on the side and they're just kind of, it feels like their arc's been completed. I feel sorry for Danny. He's been kind of sat there for like half an hour just listening to us go.
No, but like on Jonathan, I'm really disappointed what they did with him because I identify with Jonathan. Like I'm an older brother,
Yeah.
full of responsibility to my younger brother. I feel like I have to do like look out for him, do certain like he was such a great character, and they just kind of like
Do nothing with him.
tossed all that aside. I don't know why to this day.
I think also it's because the cast got too big. Like there's too
Yeah,
many
you have to-
characters.
Yeah.
That's why you should
That's
kill
a whole
characters
nother-
because
that's a
there's
whole
too
nother-
many of them.
Yeah, that's like.
Like if it was me, if Eddie goes, Max goes. And then in this season, fans won't like it, but tough shit. This is how you write
Steve.
stories that stick.
He's got to go.
Steve should go. And
I'd kill 11.
Damn, you really don't like 11, man.
I also would either kill Will or 11. One of those two.
Nah, it's
I kill Will before 11.
Just prime it. The reason I'd kill Will is because he got a second chance. He got a second chance at living and having a life. But I feel like he will fulfill a purpose, and then you can cut him out. Then, and it serves Jonathan's arc, which is kind of needing something. 11, I would kill her off because if she's alive, there's always going to be a problem. There's always going to be something. It could be a Terminator 2 situation where the best way to ensure it never
Also,
happens.
like someone in the chat, a good point. Every season ends with 11 fixing everything, and I feel like they can't keep doing that.
And it always ends so
Such a
easy.
shoehorn.
It always ends so easy.
She just wins. She
puts
just
her
wins.
hand out. She says no, and she wins.
No,
Like
No.
they can't do that this season. Like,
I agree, Cobra Kai World. I would have it so they both do it.
yeah, what if they like stay in the upside down like forever and they can't get out, and that's the end.
Just have Will get run over. I'm kidding.
Because I think it gets to a point where you look at the characters that we've got left. Who are the two on our side that have a connection to that world? It's Will and it's 11, and then we're still fighting Vecna. Blah blah blah. But if you take those two out the equation as well, there's no way that it can come back. Like it's gone.
Yep.
You know, full circle. Fans wouldn't like it, but tough. Like you've got to
Sometimes
give
people, bad things happen.
Sometimes bad things happen, and quite frankly, we got off easy. The way season 4 was playing out and what I expected.
Everyone could have died.
Do you remember the predictions that we all made? I thought Max was going to go. I thought Will was going to buy it. I thought Eddie was a given, annoyingly.
You're right about that. Yeah.
And, right about that. And we thought that a fair few characters were going to go, and one of them went and one.
But also on that note, think about like the episode. I think it was episode 8, the ending, and how they were setting up the final episode, and they were it was a song and it was a tone and everything. It was like something bad was going to happen. Nothing really bad happened except like Max in a coma.
Dude, I thought Steve was actually going to bite it.
Me too,
dude. That scene where he jumped in the hole and the bats jump him, I was like, yo, this is
And also,
and then
I like
the way he killed one of those things. That was
and then
pretty
they
cool.
teased
the Eddie and Dustin scene, like when Eddie is like basically like dying. That actually should have been Steve. Just the way, just like the emotional impact. Not saying that Steve should die, but I'm just saying if they were to pick somebody for that scene.
That's kind of my thing, is them balancing out Dustin's connection with Eddie and with Steve. I feel like they could have done that a bit more, because I do like the scenes of the three of them. It's an interesting dynamic, especially when Eddie tells Steve, it's like, oh yeah, kid worships you, dude, you know? And Steve's like taken aback by it. And it's almost in that moment where you go, man, this guy's had a real freaking, like, he's come a long
But
way.
also, here's another thing. Eddie,
You're right, Noah.
Eddie's character, you could tell, like, he felt like at home with like the group. Yeah. Like he felt like they were his friend.
And it's
That's
also
why I
nice
don't think he should have died.
Steve is the only guy, so then if you have Eddie with him, then you know he works. Like, you remember that episode where he like had the mask on and stuff, and he's like, "This is music," like bantering off of.
That was funny. This is music.
Honestly, I would have loved to have seen more adventures of Steve, Eddie, Nancy, and Robin together. They had a good dynamic.
Yeah, they had a great season for them.
You know what they remind me of weirdly? It's kind of like the Scooby-Doo gang.
Yeah. And when they were like riding those bicycles, I'm like, do you know what? Jonathan's been here since season 1, and he wouldn't fit this at all, but Eddie does after being here for a season.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Does that make Jonathan Scooby-Doo?
Makes him Shaggy.
Wait, who's Shaggy?
No, he's Jonathan.
Eddie, I guess.
Eddie's Shaggy, I guess.
No, Argyle Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, because Steve is 100% Fred. Steve is Fred.
Yeah, he is. Do you guys always find it funny that in Scooby-Doo, Shaggy and Scooby are always the ones solving the problem, and Fred and Daphne come out?
They don't do anything.
They don't do shit.
They were busy doing a bit of the tango.
All Velma does is say ghosts aren't real. Fred makes a trap that doesn't work. Fred makes a trap that fails. And then Scooby and Shaggy solve the problem by accident. That's what happens every episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Convenient.
Yeah, we can talk about Stranger Things. We need to get that its own stream because there's a lot you can talk about that with that. Jesus.
I like how we all just did an in sync nod. Like, yeah.
All I heard was Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
You like haven't said a word in like the last 30 minutes.
30, 40
I'll let you guys roll.
Yeah.
We had to cook. We had to cook for a minute, and we did.
Yeah, and there was
a lot of,
I do want to stress this point though. There was a lot of like miscommunication that happened there. But anyone watching right now, live or after the fact, or on rewatch, we're all still buddies. Also, it's 4 a.m. here for me, so sometimes.
No, I'd actually like to take this time to say I'm leaving the Kings of Pop Culture.
I wish you all the best with. It's a budget thing. I wish you all the best with your future endeavors. I kicked him out. Bring him back.
I wanted to make this announcement.
See, just like Stranger Things.
You want to know how I persuaded Noah to come back so easily? I showed him the money.
Yeah, just like Stranger
I'm going
Things,
solo, guys. Sony paid me a lot of money to do my own spinoff. So
you'll still be a better spinoff than half the shit they put out. So I'll be there.
My own spinoff. You know.
What's your social, Darius?
Oh yeah, it's just Hold on. What is my Instagram?
Forever. Just go on like my followers and you'll find it.
It's just Darius A.
Yeah, it's in one of my posts on my page.
Darius _
10 of us there. You'll find all 10 of us. But ladies and gentlemen, I think we'll round it off there. We're approaching the 3-hour mark. Christ almighty, I'm tired. We will see you next week. Next week. Cuddling next week. For another juicy list where Danny will no doubt be talking about Brave and the Bold, and all that kind of stuff. And before we go any further, give a massive thank you to this gentleman right here for assembling that list and all of our topics. Very well put together, sir. As always. Yeah. A massive shout out to the Mamba, who's getting his own spin-off. We're here to see it.
Sony.
Mamba Web.
Sony paid me.
Brilliant stuff. I love it. And we're going to give a massive shout out to the lovely gentleman here. Look at that bandana. Look at that. There you go. He's joined the crew.
Walter, wait, did you draw that?
I did this a few days ago.
Oh shit!
What the hell is wrong with you? I'm really asking.
This is very shoddy work, Pinkman. I'm actually embarrassed for you.
All right, let's Let's talk about Gail Bedecker.
I love that scene.
Talk about Gail Bedecker.
The hell was that? And a massive shout out to the GOAT. Look at that backdrop. Dope. Look at that. One of the greatest movies of all time behind you. One of the other greatest movies of all time. One of the other greatest movies of all
They're all
time.
the Grunts.
Yeah,
And an overrated pile of shit.
This movie. I'm reading the book.
Oh,
which is also
nice.
really good.
I need to read that.
I need to rewatch. I'm gonna rewatch it tonight. Actually,
I rewatched it. I've seen that movie like 10 times. It's my favorite Tarantino.
By Natalie, by Lisa.
I rewatch it the most of all his
by
movies.
Forever Red, by Tristan, by everybody
What
else.
up,
that
bitch?
Stream. So thank you very much for joining.
Yo,
Sons of
1,
Anarchy
4, 8, 3 to the 3 to the 6 and 9, representing
is in
the
the ABQ.
What
What
up,
up, bitch?
tone.
Leave it at the tone, Jesse. But we'll see you all next week. I'm trying to delay it so I can hit the 3-hour mark. Bang on the number. I'm going to try my best to get it 3 hours.
Post credit scene, guys.
Post credit scene. Post credit scene.
Yeah, that's right. Telephone tough guy. Put Vito on a phone.
Do you want to really want to taste it?
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
Yes,
You did it wrong.
bitch.
Indeed. Indeed.
It keeps it hot up in here.
See you next week, guys.